Ladies and gentlemen, it is so good to be back. Welcome to season number 4 of Late Night League here. My name is JC Yeso McDonough, and I'm joined by a couple of special guests here, Degon and Invirum. Guys, welcome to the broadcast.
Special guests? I don't know, special. What's
Come
that?
on.
I don't know how special that could be.
We're here. We're excited to be here. Casting League of Legends. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Pleasure to have you guys. Excited to kick right into the action, guys. We will jump into the Central here in just a couple of moments, but a little bit of a refresher on how things work here. We have an 8-week season kicking off here today. Every Monday night we will have league action for you. Teams can earn points based on their placement each week through the first 7 weeks of play. And remember, we do have those double points in the last 2 weeks of the season, leading all the way up to our grand finals. The top point getters from those first 7 weeks will represent their respective regions from the West and Central in our best of 5 grand final. It's been a couple of great seasons the past 2 that I've been a part of, and excited to see more here for season 4. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's great keeping these kind of tournaments going. And every single night of the week, you've got a different game. You got different action competing here, different locations across North America. It's super exciting to see. And, of course, every single week, these players are going out. They're competing, adding up to that prize pool as well, which is really cool. So I'm excited to see what they've got for us this week.
Yeah, anytime you have the opportunity to work with grassroots esports, getting your hands down and dirty on it is really important. I think that's how you figure out, is this for me, is it not for me, and quickly can progress up the ladder of what esports can offer.
Yeah, should be a good time. We obviously will have some familiar faces coming out tonight, as maybe some new ones that can put their mark on Late Night League. Let's turn a little bit towards the meta here as we get ready for our first game of the day. We obviously just got the Worlds patch a week ago, and this is going to be our first taste of competitive play on this patch. Anything that stands out to you guys, maybe some early expectations?
Well, I mean, I was playing today, and Mercurial Scimitar, like, the price of Mercurial Scimitar going up, like, is annoying. I think it went from 2,100 to 2,500 after you buy the QSS itself, which most people buy, still at 1,300. So something to keep an eye on. It gives you something else to farm for as an AD carry like myself. But I think you'll see a little bit more split pushing. I think you'll find a lot more split pushing there, and then keeping an eye on what they did with Sylas, taking down Sylas from the jungle and then moving. That moves up a lot more in priority everywhere else, and not only from the jungle, but from everything, from mid lane, from top lane, from jungle. So Sylas getting hit kind of stinks.
I mean, they talked about it. They didn't like the fact that he was just. I think they called it the ultimate flex in the word for word in the patch notes, because you could literally lane him anywhere. He was viable. He was destructive. Kingslayer is so frustrating to deal with.
Yeah.
I think my favorite nerfs have to be to Yuumi for sure. Just that flat reduction on the movement speed debuff. So I'm excited to see, because she can do silly things.
Yeah. Definitely going to be interesting to continue to break that down throughout the night, but we are into our first game of the day. We're actually going to start in the Central region. A couple of teams battling it out in a best of 5 here, and we are on to the Rift to kick this one off. We got Daybreak going against Night Raid here. And just looking at the draft, a Kog'Maw, interesting. I've seen this actually cropping up just a little bit over the last patch or so. Do we possibly maybe expect some of this to be a little more present in Worlds?
Kog'Maw always has a presence in Worlds. You get kind of like this paralysis during Worlds, a little bit more of like teams play very reactively rather than proactively. No one wants to be the guy that makes a mistake. It's easier for the audience and team members to remember the player that made the mistake, not the players that made the play to get them to the next level. And I think when you're one of these smaller teams, early on, you'll come out swinging, but then once stakes get into it, you maybe get a win or two, and you didn't expect it. All of a sudden, there's this expectation that you need to win, and people start playing a little bit slower. That's where you see Kog'Maw come in and be like, oh yeah, Kog'Maw, scaling late. We just want to get to the late game, and then Kog'Maw will take care of things. So that's how Kog'Maw usually comes into play here.
I mean, more than just a clutch Game 5 pick here, clearly coming in for Night Raid, who I want to point out are up 1-0 in this series so far over Daybreak. And obviously just taking a look at these drafts as a whole here, I'm looking at a lot of like natural synergies, particularly between our top laners and our jungles, a lot of CC that's going to be able to use to set things up. I think rotations, especially in the mid-early game, are going to be super important. Who can establish dominance in the rotation, capitalizing on lane priority, and of course getting these early turret plate gold.
And can't overlook Daybreak running out with Glacial buff here with the Sejuani Ashe Braum. Very, very important.
Oh yes, of course. I got to get that 20% freeze chance.
2 minutes and 20 seconds in, we got our TFT reference. We got that one out of the way.
Good, let's just get it done. Let's get it done
get
now.
Get it out of the way. Week 1, first game, and then we don't have to go back to it anymore. All right, nothing too crazy here early. Lane starting fairly standard. Hawaii versus Gaming getting the push going a little bit top side. Malphite just trying to clear out this wave. Everything pretty standard across the board. Down a few CS, but nothing really to write home about at the start. First Drake, as I can't tell, we don't. It's actually going to be an Infernal. That's actually not a bad start. Obviously, everybody hoping to kick it off with the early Ocean Drake, that big boost to your laning phase.
Yeah, well, J4's starting to make a move to the top lane early, and he gets sniffed out by Daybreak's top laner, Hawaii versus Gaming. I think that's Hawaii versus Gaming. So he'll hang back a little bit more. That'll give Sejuani a bit more time to farm up Wolves before heading over to blue and put J4 a little bit further behind. You expect after that quick check, maybe Sejuani thinks about heading up top as we see damage coming on into Ari.
Yeah, good stare from Golden God, and Hawaii versus Gaming is going to land the knock up on the top side. Both solo laners from Night Raid will be able to back away from that pressure, but solid damage coming out from Beastlands on the Kog'Maw. The mini Juggernaut composition, obviously pairing it up with the Lulu, but a little bit of a split here with quite a bit of engage. You've got the Malphite and the J4 for that top side of the map, so they're going to be looking to go aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what I'm looking for from both these teams, is who can find those key initiations. Yeah, not finding what they're looking for there. And speaking of initiation, we'll see if the Flag Drag is going to connect. Just going to be able to turn this right back around. You have the Bella's Breath going in, trying to find actually able to get himself out of there. Nice little play, no kill for Night Raid in the top lane.
Yeah, Hawaii versus Gaming walking a fine line up there, but is able to escape from the pressure.
Yeah, the oops down on the bottom side of the map was Lulu, Randy Newman accidentally hitting Ignite on the Braum, not on the Ashe.
Not the most ideal situation. I mean, if you're a Braum, that's the happiest Braum. He's already like done his job like threefold already in this, like burning summons at this point. Yes, all day we will do this.
However, Feral Stasis has taken a decent amount of damage in lane, and I see both teams have their wait till level 6 compositions here. With Ashe, you've got Ornn, you've got Sejuani. You want to wait till level 6, but on the opposite side with Night Raid, you've got the Cataclysmic Force with Cataclysm and Unstoppable Force on the top side of the map. That's another wait till 6 kind of lane. And I'm surprised that Jart spent that much time up on the top side of the map with those early, that early pressure.
The one thing that Daybreak can feel a little bit better about is with the Malphite using the teleport on the top side, they don't have to worry about him showing up in their lane quite yet. Definitely would be very telegraphed. So Hawaii versus Gaming going in for some more damage here. Not respecting the Malphite, but is able to charge out of danger there as Randy Newman continues the pressure on the bottom side, just forcing more waves under tower, forcing Feral Stasis to continue to farm on that part of the map, and that's a 15 CS lead for the Kog'Maw, so Beastlands feeling pretty good in a laning phase with a 15 CS lead and a Kog'Maw. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, I mean, you always think about Kog'Maw being this late game monster, but Ashe, I mean, she's so vulnerable at this stage in the game. And the Braum's obviously going to do his best to keep her safe, but if, you know, being behind this much CS already the state of the game, if they could add a kill to that, continue to push it back, Daybreak would be pretty rough position, but Sejuani is rotating in. Nico's here as well.
Yeah, Sejuani rotating in, not level 6, so you got to be careful about it.
Exhaust onto Beastlands.
Yep.
The Sejuani doesn't actually want to go in here. I think that's great recognition with the Ahri rotating down, but actually just going to walk right into the Tribe Rush and go down. First blood for Night Raid.
Yeah, good rotation by Ahri, and I think it's the right decision by Sejuani not to force that fight, but questionable pathing heading right back into the Tribe Rush where there was a vision.
Yeah, we're just continuing to see these beefy top laners slugging it out there as well, but the bottom lane continuing to assert pressure from the Ahri. The Nico's just going to continue to push uncontested, but already this rotation completely fine for Captain Moser. Just going to be very happy with shutting down that jungle already.
Yeah, I wish Night Raid would have realized, hey, look, we have eyes on Nico. The jungler's dead. We could have turned immediately onto the Drake as Thermistor gets very low. And they would have been able to pick that one up. Unfortunately, again, a little bit of dilly-dallying, but here comes the old.
Oh, wow.
No follow-up needed. Give him the horns.
Yeah, ring, the Forge God is on the line. That was, I'm not really sure what the thought process was there from Night Raid. I mean, I know they've done some fancy feet dancing up there with no HP, but that was really not the time when 6 has been reached.
Yeah, Thermistor has been hanging around for quite some time on that Malphite on the top side of the map and has had Hawaii vs. Gaming low on health for quite some time. I think he got that false sense of security that he had lane dominance, but after, again, with Ornn, you're able to buy items there right on the fly. You don't need to go back. The one time he does go back, he gets full health, has his items, he's able to pop them there with the trades.
And Ornn is no slouch in the laning phase either. He may be a tank, but he actually has those solid base damages, and his first 5 levels are nothing to sneeze at. So the Malphite, really, lack of disrespect there will cost him that first death. Kills even between Daybreak and Night Raid. Same with the gold here. We can check those gold leads for you in a moment.
And those numbers, again, they were tuned earlier. They were even higher before Ornn got nerfed a bit and has fallen a bit out of favor, but again, still can be potent.
Ooh, a lot of damage here as the charm does land for Captain Moser. Does Golden God want to stay here? Maybe looking for another route. They're both trading back and forth. The flash forced out of Captain Moser. He will get out of trouble for the time being.
It's interesting to see how much this top lane has shifted so far. You know, we saw the Ornn just chilling on no HP for so long, and now it's this Malphite that is really on the back step. My question is going to be how can you utilize this lane priority to accomplish something else on the map? How many kills can you get? What turret plating can you get? I want to see this Ornn establish some pressure somewhere else.
I want to see if Jarth, the J4, hits level 6 here. He does not. And I was going to see if he's going to head top again, waiting for that double level 7 spike onto Hawaii vs. Gaming and decide against it, unfortunately.
Captain Jeff wants to go in mid lane, but Hawaii vs. Gaming is here. That's the Cataclysm on it. Golden God will get the shield, flashes away from danger, and the charge into the wall. That's a feels bad from Hawaii vs. Gaming as Captain Jarth will escape with his life.
Oh, a slight missed time on that, not ideal. The Nico does walk away with her life, just barely off the back of that Pop Blossom Flash show. Nice little bit of maneuvering there in the mid. Captain Moser not able to secure that kill. That's something Night Raid really would have liked because this Nico's sort of been running away with the mid lane.
Yeah, headbutt good if you're inside the Cataclysm, not so good when you're outside the Cataclysm. No knock up there, and just a couple laughs for everybody.
We'll take them.
We'll take him.
Yeah.
It's the first game of the night. I want to have a couple of laughs as we're getting into this.
You know, we're getting loose, trying to get into things. Apparently the Sejuani is as well. Big trouble here as Gitrog's going to go down in the 1v1.
Ouch. That's not ideal. That's walking on in. That Ahri is already doing so much damage at this stage. I don't think I've seen her miss a charm yet.
Yeah, the Gitrog monster failing to hit one of those learning lessons. When you miss the Sejuani ult, don't go in. Yes, you wanted to force the fight there. Yes, you had Nico right behind, but a fantastic charm in the middle of the Arctic Assault means Gitrog gets knocked down, and Night Raid find themselves the first kill lead, or the second kill lead of the day.
And I like this too. Not only utilizing the pushing inside of Daybreak, but to get their own vision down through all this. You're actually seeing the ult going in for the Braum as well, trying to get himself out, using the flash on the back of this. Can he get ticked down? Burning flash as well as he counter support, not able to get the kill.
Randy Newman's running away. An interesting flash there from Beastlance. The flash encaged, biggest quotation marks ever from the Kog'Maw. It nearly works out. They almost get a kill and force out 3 summoner spells. So they trade 3 for 4. Meanwhile, they're going to continue to pressure under the tower. Hawaii versus Gaming, again, dueling on the top side. A tower plate secured by Night Raid. I feel like I'd be mashing my question mark ping right about now if I'm Randy Newman. But it works out in the end. Night Raid able to force out some summoner spells. And
I mean, we have 1 summoner spell in the bot lane at this point, and that's Ash's Flash. So maybe they can get a little bit saucy. Maybe they can get a little bit spicy. But with Vision in the Tri-Brush, Night Raid.
They could actually be in big trouble. The Sejuani's coming down. The Lulu's in bad position, but the Daybreak bottom lane may be a little too late to respond here. Here comes the arrow, but it's going to split the uprights. No. Night Raid will escape with their lives.
Yeah, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow not to be landing there. And Feral Stasis yet again just keeps stepping too far up. That's the second time.
Yeah, and they're just seeing the kill going on through. Like I mentioned, Ashe in the early game, she doesn't have a lot of mobility. Ironically enough, the one person who could have flashed that not getting it done, so not ideal.
It's the same rule. You miss your ult, that's the rest of your engage. Again, that's what we're talking about right there. Headbutt inside Cataclysm, good. But again, right now Daybreak have the champions that are the proactive ones. So you have two facets here. One, you have to land your skills, land your engages. And two, when you don't go in. You don't all of a sudden become stronger because you casted it. You have to land first.
We are seeing, a bit of pressure here around the pit. Just wanting to try and get herself out and not going to be able to do so. Great follow-up there. Night Raid is going to look to try and finish this one up. A nice dragon for them, easy peasy.
Yeah, Captain Moser looking like someone with the easy pass on the highway, taking the indirect path to the kills,
beautiful
but not
snare
done yet.
there. Big trouble. Randy Newman's going to go down. Here's the Pop Blossom trying to follow the double kill for Golden God there. Now looking for a triple, possibly. Captain Moser is caught. That one will go over to Feral Stasis, the shutdown onto the Kog'Maw.
Well, I spoke too soon. Would have been easy. I mean, it's one of those situations where you try to do too many things at once, identifying, hey, let's get the objective and back ourselves out. There's no reason to continue to fight. We've already got ourselves the kills, but instead, beautiful collapse from Daybreak. Trying to even this out a little bit more. All right, there you are.
Yeah, it's one of the things that is difficult to not only at some point learn and understand, but also convey to your teammates. Win is enough. Like, everyone always overstays. They talk about overstaying. In this case, you have two prime examples from both teams.
Thermistor taking some damage there as Hawaii versus Gaming continues to press the advantage on the top side. Has already finished his Sunfire Cape while Thermistor is still sitting on the pieces here. And wow, this Malphite's in trouble. Here comes the call. The Forge God, he flashes away from the first part, gets knocked up. Hawaii versus Gaming looking for the follow. Uh-oh, good ultimate there, the unstoppable force. Not quite enough, though, as Hawaii versus Gaming will survive with the kill.
Yeah, usually you like to flash the second part because that's the part that stuns you. Yeah,
what?
you get
D-Gon, really?
But
is that the one?
I mean, you know, Thermistor.
Thought about Deja Vu? I'm pretty sure that was the same arrow. Pretty sure that was the same arrow. So you have actually a great little natural synergy. And when you have Glacial Prison, it's this great setup. It's a relatively easy one to hit. You know, even if it doesn't hit, it's this massive area of effect stun. And then you'll have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow in. Ideally, you want to use that as a follow-up.
Oh, wow.
I feel like this bottom lane is a record. We just played one side of it. We just took it off, put it right back on. We're playing it all over again. But this time, the J4 is joining the party.
Yeah, Daybreak looking to get revenge here. Captain Jarth is able to flag and drag out of trouble. Beastlance wants to go aggressive here. Has to be careful, though. No more wild growth from Randy Newman, but he still steps forward, putting damage onto Golden God as Daybreak has to retreat to safety. Jar still looking for something here. Gitrog Monster waiting in the wings, has the Glacial Prison available, but that's going to be the engage here. No snare on to Beastlance. He's turning on to Feral Stasis. There's the Pop Blossom, takes out Randy Newman. Going gold is Golden God. Beastlance will fall, trades one kill back, and it is actually a 2-for-2 there as the Gitrog Monster did fall. Captain Jarth will be able to escape, so all things even at the end of that fight.
Yeah, a bit of a split fight here for Night Raid. Again, the TP finally being used now by Hawaii versus Gaming. He held on to that for such a long time, comes down and helps clean up. But you had a de facto 3v2 for a little bit, but then Jarth got split up, went towards Tribush, and got it was able to pick up one kill. But hang around your Kog'Maw. That's the guy that's going to win you the game, so make sure you're playing around him. Unfortunately for Beastlance, no one around, and yet again, another arrow missing.
Yeah, Arrow not really going to do much here. We have a TP coming in. The brush as well. Just really wanted to make sure they secure this dragon this time around. Infernal Drake is going to go the way of Daybreak there as they are continuing to push down all mid. Let's go. I like it. Call the Forge God to start things off.
Tempting Fate is going to get knocked up, put into the bounce house by the Glacial Fissure. And Hawaii versus Gaming grabs the kill.
I got to give all the props to Hawaii versus Gaming here. After that early game, he felt really, seems like he's really comfortable on this Ornn right now. He's been doing a lot of work. Every single time he has called up the Forge God, it is answered and has resulted in a kill.
And Beastlance here continuing to kind of stand in the pocket, to use a football reference there on the Kog'Maw, just sidestepping as much as he can, continuing to deal out as much damage as possible on this Kog'Maw. He's got that beautiful 4-2-0 scoreline right now. A great 2,000 gold lead over his lane opponent as well, so really trying to play off of that lead.
Yeah, almost doubling the CS of the Ashe at this point, and you're seeing it in the item discrepancy a lot right now. That's only going to continue, and we've seen it. This Kog'Maw is just going to continue to get more and more threatening. They just need to be able to align the rest of the initiation for this team. The J4, if he can land these off the back of the Unstoppable Force as well, Degon touched on it earlier, if you can land that combo, if you can get in there and actually execute, I don't think there's going to be any issue for Night Raid in these mid-game team fights.
Beastlance has had the room to maneuver in these fights. Randy Newman obviously keeping him alive with the shields and the wild growth, just allowing him to play as aggressive as he likes. He's already got the Rage Blade, looking for his Blade of the Ruin King to follow up as he finished off his boots. And as you mentioned, that item disparity looking fairly scary for Feral Stasis. We're waiting for the Ashe to hit any chance at Crystal Arrow at this point. That would be quite the boon for Daybreak if they want to get a fight. And if he can get it onto one of those key targets like Beastlance or Captain Moser, could change things a lot here. But Gitrog Monster and Golden God looking to get Captain Jarth caught out here. That's the arrow will finally land. There's the Pop Blossom, but Captain Moser able to back away. Captain Jarth goes in. It's the 3v2. Night Raid's in trouble. Captain Jarth trying to chase down a low health Sejuani here. They're going to trade kills here.
Sejuani's still
Most
alive.
likely. The Ignite is on. The Gitrog Monster surviving, but not for long. Captain Moser soon to go down as well. The double kill for Golden God, and it's a 2-for-1.
Yeah, Randy Newman needs to be careful. He ends up going down next. Slayer Beast picking that one up, but Beastland still popping off. Going 1v3, might be able to pick up all the kills here.
He's
Good
gonna
shield
get
by Slayer
snared.
Beast.
They didn't proc the passive from the Braum. He gets to continue to free fire here, and he actually survives.
Yeah, no concussive blows there, and Beastlance doing exactly what he needs to do. He's patient. Unfortunately, all the other teammates have to die, but that's what this team composition wants. Make sure he's still alive. Awkward flash.
That is a very scared Malphite as Thermistor flashes away from Hawaii versus Gaming after the charge, and he'll just look to continue to pressure this tier 1 tower bottom lane. Towers even between the teams, but Hawaii versus Gaming looking to change that here in a moment.
And 11-11 now, and I was going to say, I was expecting more of a gold lead here, just given how well this Kog'Maw has been doing, but actually seeing that gold lead for Daybreak right now, so finding the value with plays off the back of that orange. So he's what I'm really looking forward to, seeing how they can capitalize him, as I said, on the mid game. And right now, the play from this Ahri so far, little things like the charm to deny the Pop Blossom value. It's the things like that that just make me happy, so they can deny the chain CC. We finally saw an Enchanted Crystal Arrow connect, but nothing happened.
Yeah, Feral Stasis's arrows, just, you need to be a little bit more mid-range so you give yourself a chance to hit him. Where he was before, where he was missing, I think that's the range you need to hit it at. Great that long distance one hit, but those are a little bit less consistent. Just work on that consistency, and maybe things will change here for Daybreak.
Thermistor stepping forward aggressively right now, but he doesn't have access to the Unstoppable Force quite yet. It's nearly there, but there's the Glacial Prison landing on a Captain Jarth. Here comes the engage, just layered onto the front line. Thermistor's gonna go down. Feral Stasis grabs a kill, but ooh, Beastlance just free firing. Gitrog Monster's gonna go down. Here comes Golden God, but that's already the triple kill for the Kog'Maw.
Yeah. I'm seeing so many amazing plays from Daybreak throughout all this, but the Kog'Maw stands. He is the one you need to kill, because you cannot win this fight if he survives at the end of it, because look at the damage he's putting out.
Oh, Golden God nearly goes down under the tower. Feral Stasis just able to sidestep further damage from Beastlance and living up to his name, playing like an absolute monster right now.
Yeah, the major issue here for Daybreak is they don't have someone that can get to the back line. The Nico can do her best to go invisible, pretend she's someone else, do a bunch of different tricks, but that doesn't prevent the fact that you have the Lulu Kog'Maw duo just sitting in the back line. So it's going to take a huge amount of burst and probably multiple team members, but where's that damage going to come from? Because the fact that the Sejuani is not that tanky, 0-6, because the Ashe had a very, very difficult laning phase, and in just a couple of minutes, we'll probably get Flame Horizon here being 100 CS down from his opponent. There just isn't enough damage to shred through the front line of Night Raid fast enough to get to the back line.
And we saw an almost perfectly executed full wombo from Daybreak. I mean, you've got Call of the Forge God, you've got Glacial Prison, you've got Glacial Fissure, you've got Pop Blossom, you've got Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Every single person has massive chain CC potential, and we saw most of it come out from Daybreak. And they got some kills, and it looked good, and it felt good right up until the moment that, as you said, Degon, they couldn't close the gap. I think I need to see someone come into the 90-degree angle. I need to see the Nico try and execute onto this black line. Flash is not up for a while, though, so this feels like a lot of free reign for the Kog'Maw for at least the next 2.5 minutes.
And even if he's punished, mispositioning, it's still so hard, as you said, to burst him down. Randy Newman providing so much safety with the shields and the wild growth that Beastlance really is just, he can just free fire and go as aggressive as he would like, because he really has the opportunity to shine in this game. All the gold being invested in this bot laner.
So it's moments like that right there, when Kog'Maw steps up and gets the CS, you clearly see everyone from Daybreak leaving. That's when the Enchanted Crystal Arrow needs to come out. Not in opportunities like this when you're chasing someone running away. It's in those moments of hubris, and here we go. Randy Newman separated away from Kog'Maw.
The Lulu actually nowhere nearby. Beastlance is knocked up. He does get the Wild Growth, but the Pop Blossom will finish it off. That's the shutdown for the Nico. There's the Cataclysm, though, on to 3, the late Glacial Prison, but Daybreak has just evaporated, but they're trying to turn it around. Randy Newman running away, but going to get stunned and taken out there. The double kill for the Gitrog monster, and it's a 4 for 3 in favor of Daybreak.
But Beastlance was able to get a triple kill from the grave, the passive from Kog'Maw dishing out the damage there. It was an awkward pathing situation for Randy Newman. He tried to make up for it by flashing over the wall, getting the wild growth, as you said, which allowed Kog'Maw to dish out a little bit more damage before going down. But again, that was probably one of the best opportunities for Daybreak to have, and they still barely won the fight 4 for 3.
I mean, at least, though, Daybreak has discovered now what if they didn't know before, if it wasn't painfully obvious what their win condition was, it's kill the Kog'Maw. That is how you walk away with this game. They're able to do so. They're able to catch him out of position. Nice initiation there, and they had, as I mentioned, layers upon layers of CC. Now let's see what they can do with it. A kill on the Ahri here would go a long way, but Orin needs to not die. He is the linchpin, and Kog'Maw's hit like a freight train.
Here comes Feral Sins, trying to buy some space there. Hawaii versus Gaming is able to retreat, pop a couple of pots here to try and heal up. Meanwhile, Night Raid looking for vision control around this Baron Pit, nearing the 24-minute mark. These teams are starting to posture around this part of the map. All 10 members around this top side river. Ultimates are available nearly across the board here, just waiting for that Glacial Prison from Gitrog Monster. Otherwise, everybody can smash that R key and look for some damage and some crowd control here. Poke coming out from Daybreak as they look to soften up Night Raid here for a possible engagement. Here comes Thermistor. Is just going to completely whiff there on the engage. Meanwhile, there's the Glacial Prison in return. Good Pop Blossom. Thermistor is going to go down, but Beastlance has a kill on the Golden God. He's continuing to fire away. It's big trouble. Feral Stasis is down. The shutdown onto the Sejuani. Beastlance is still backing away. They cannot catch the Kog'Maw. Hawaii versus Gaming, the only standing member of Daybreak, but not for long. The triple kill for the Cog and the ace for Night Raid.
Yeah. Rageblade, real mad. Just gotta say, that Kog'Maw was ace-stepping like an absolute monster. They could not get the kill, and they put themselves so out of position to try and do it. I say, identify your win conditions. Say, killing the Kog'Maw is the win condition. But at the same time, you cannot tunnel vision to do so. And that's what we just witnessed there.
And I mean, you can see even more how important the Kog'Maw is, because they were able to completely whiff a Malphite ultimate, lose him right at the start of the fight, and they still essentially 4v5'd and won that.
Yeah, and Feral Stasis had an opportunity there, held on to Enchanted Crystal Arrow for such a long time. I wouldn't say it's unfortunate, like a user error this time, but wasn't able to land it. Hit J4 instead in front. If they would have been able to hit that Enchanted Crystal Arrow after that initial batch of damage that Golden God dished out, maybe things would have gone differently. But again, right now there's so much damage and onus on this Kog'Maw. If it goes down early, the way that the fights change is massive. I would love to see that opportunity. And at 22-19, it's not a massive lead here for Night Raid quite yet, but the Kog'Maw has all the gold. That's where it's at. You got to continually think about it. So with Thermistor whiffing the ultimate, that was an opportunity that Daybreak might not get back unless something goes wrong like this.
Yeah, Thermistor is going to get caught out here, able to Unstoppable Force away, but it won't buy him enough space. Are you kidding me? The Enchanted Crystal Arrow, it won't hit the priority target this time. Jar can get away. The Glacial Fissure will miss as well. That's Cataclysm onto the backline. Jar just trying to buy time, and here comes Beastlance. Down goes the Braum. He's looking for more. Gitrog Monster will fall. The double kill for Beastlance, and Daybreak is running for the hills. Flag and drag over the wall.
Trying to chase this down.
They've got a tower.
They can dive this. They can 100% dive this if they choose to. They're just going to push this down. What a disaster And on the flank, this Malphite still wants to go in. Can they find the initiation? The Call of Forge God is going to look to try and set things up. No, complete whiff!
Okay, that's not where you wanted that to go. Captain Jarth was just served up on a silver platter there, but the whiff from Hawaii versus Gaming means Night Raid can continue to siege. They'll take the tier 2, and they're possibly looking to pressure this bot lane inhibitor. They've already got the Mingwei pushed up in mid lane, so Captain Moser can threaten one inhibitor, and they're just going to split pressure. The 4-1 here set up for Night Raid, and Daybreak on full court press right now, trying to defend their base.
Yeah, you know, kids, before Verizon existed, there's these things called dead zones, and that's what happened with that Call of the Forge God, as well as everything that's happening right now that Kog'Maw's doing. Everyone's in a dead zone if you're nearby the Cog.
Yeah, this Cog is the scariest little pupper that ever did live here in the Rift. And that's basically all she wrote. We were looking at multiple inhibs going on down. 26-19, up almost 10K gold at this stage in the game. And it's in all the right places. Trying to go in with its Ornn, but look at how fast. I don't care how tanky you are at this stage. You will just get absolutely shredded. A lot of good return poke onto the Malphite and crew. But having Randy Newman here to just keep everybody in the fray, it's just so tough to deal with this, especially with Baron buff.
Yeah, it appears Night Raid is going to take the safe approach here. A little bit of damage onto those Nexus towers, but they will return to base. Other than Captain Moser, that Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land, and that means the Ahri does fall here. So a consolation kill for Daybreak, but now they're on cleanup duty as they have to deal with supered minion waves out of 2 different lanes right now. Meanwhile, Beastlands can just solo that Cloud Drake, return to base, spend the, I would assume, tons of gold, pack piles and piles of gold, and come back even stronger. Oh, yeah. Already sitting on, that's full build Kog'Maw at 28 minutes. That is insane. 19-3 and 2. Beastlands is a little strong.
Yeah, and I think they're getting caught. The Ahri is just a clear case yet again of overstaying, right? At some point, someone, you know, you're just overstaying. I think it's not even the conservative call that you're backing. That's the right call because you're backing. People are low. You don't have ults. Summoners are down. Just back together instead. Not a clear call was made. And so Captain Moser getting caught out there. But with such a big lead now, and again, Ahri dying is not the Kog'Maw dying. So Night Raid's going to be all right.
I think in this case, it's just maybe a little situation of egos here. Oh, I want to stay a little bit longer. I want to get a little bit more. We're feeling really comfortable in this game. Consider the fact that I think Daybreak was actually out-macroing them in the mid-game here. But we'll see when the team fight goes in. Kansas want to get this down. Already a lot of damage going through. Trying to get the damage down. And already finding the Braum. Nicely done.
He's going to go down. He had to go gold right at the start of the fight because Beastlands was just easily just going turret onto the Nico. Meanwhile, there's a Cataclysm on a 2 flash away from the Gitrog monster. He's going to escape for now. Hawaii versus Gaming looking for the call of the Forge God, trying to take out Thermistor, and he will, but still Beastlands is here. He's going to take down Feral Stasis. It does not matter. The Gitrog monster cannot escape as well. That's the double. Looking for the triple. Hawaii versus Gaming. He may escape. Captain Moser is already on to the Nexus, finish things off. They may try to chase down the Ornn, but it does not matter. He will fall the ace there for Night Raid, and they will clean up the base and take a 2-0 lead over Daybreak in this best of 5.
Solid play there from Night Raid. That was just them knowing what their win condition was, protecting that priority target, and I think a lot of it came down to also just as well how well that duo did in the bot lane. Yep. I think we kind of glossed over it a little bit. We mentioned all the CS discrepancy was there, really focused on top, and you know the Ornn Malphite matchup, all that kind of stuff. But really, it was the groundwork that they laid in that 2v2 that just did so much for them. It paid dividends. You saw it, full build Kog'Maw, 22 minutes.
It's one of those things where you know what you're playing towards, right? You pick those champions, you know what you're playing towards. It seemed that Daybreak had a little bit of an issue figuring out how does this composition work properly. Again, when you pick your champions, you're not only picking, hey, I'm tanky, hey, I'm damage, hey, I'm AP, hey, I'm AD. It's how does this all work when it's a 2v2, when it's a 3v3, when it's a 5v5? And it seemed very straightforward that it was Ashe or Sejuani lead with that ult, then follow up by Ornn, and then let Nico in the mid lane pop off, and we never really got to see that happen. It was like, hey, fight, fight, fight. It doesn't matter that we missed a fight. That's when they started falling so far behind. Again, I want to see them understand, hey, if we don't hit our crucial spells necessary to engage, then let's back off. Yes, it sucks, but it's even worse if we rush in and die anyways.
Yeah, you're just doubling down on the mistakes at that point. You're missing those ultimates and then continuing to go in and hopefully just clean some things up. Maybe feral stasis, a little bit of nerves there. Obviously, splitting the uprights on a couple of ults to start the game. That's not obviously how you want to kick things off, but you've got to take a little bit of a mental reset at that point. Okay, clean things up. We can do this. You have the abilities to start the fights you need, right? We talked about how there was so much hard engage on that team, so you have the tools. Just reset the mental. Understand what your win conditions are, as you mentioned. Get onto that Kog'Maw, and then you have the opportunities. So.
I mean, it's game 2. It's
Yeah.
2-0, not out of it yet by any stretch here. There's definitely an opportunity to turn this one around. I think there were some things they did soundly. I think they had some solid plays, some good thought process. It was really just following through on that as a team. I think communication and synergy was really a big part of that there. As you mentioned, there's a lot of order of operations when you lay things out. Every single person presses their R key. And you can do it together and it would work, but they somehow managed to find a way to not make 5 insane crowd control ultimates successful, because when you go on into the wombo, you need to combo. Just saying.
Yeah, what he said.
I'm completely on board. That was a great game to kick off this best of 5. Obviously, 2 games in. Hope you guys are enjoying the return here to Late Night League. Make sure, if you guys want more information about Late Night League, maybe some of the other leagues that we won throughout the week, the streams, all that kind of good stuff, make sure to head over to esportsarena.com. You can see that link right at the bottom of your screen right now. Check us out there. You can see more information about all our schedules, all that kind of good stuff. And we will, I believe, be going into the 3rd game of this series. So we will stay here before heading over to the West to finish out the rest of the broadcast. Let's talk draft a little bit then. You guys like all the tools that you bring to the table, right, with that 5-man wombo combo. You've got all the great engage and a pretty straightforward comp to play. Do you want to see any changes from Daybreak in the draft phase, or is it really just execution?
It's execution. I think that's why you like that kind of draft. That's always an execution-based comp, and it's very clear what the other team's going to do. They're going to sit around this Kog'Maw, and what I would have liked to have seen is Sejuani spend a little bit more time on the bottom side of the map, especially once they hit level 6, but even before then. Just pressure that bottom side of the map. You saw how big the Ashe was struggling. Braum and Ashe messed up the early, I think, first 3 to 4 minutes of the laning phase, to the point where Ashe had no more than half health throughout that whole laning phase. And so as a jungler, it's, yes, this isn't the optimal thing. I'm not clearing my jungle camps as fast as I can. Maybe there is a little bit more pressure in mid lane that we could get something with, but I need to help deter the other team's win condition in the form of the Kog'Maw. And we didn't really see that from the jungle position.
Yeah, I don't dislike anything. Actually, I kind of liked both drafts in the sense that they're, pretty straightforward in what they're trying to do. There's nothing too crazy going on. There's not some sort of incredible synergies that you have to line. It's just everybody go in, press your ults correctly, line up, call out targets. But it just, as you said, it felt like there was a bit of a disconnect, because Sejuani was like looking towards top and looking towards mid, and mid was actually where they were succeeding. Nico was doing really well in mid, getting priority. You could have then rotated, maybe look towards Dragon or Herald at that point. But even earlier than that, I agree. When your Ashe is struggling that much, especially I've played a decent amount of Ashe, and when you don't have fun with her in the early game, she just takes so long to come online. Just kind of like Kaisa in that regard. You just need to get late with her. So in that situation, I think it was really just a miscommunication between the jungle and the bot. I think the Braum as well needs to step up, and whoever their shot caller is as well, looking towards. Obviously, supports tend to do that a lot, so I'm looking towards that for sure.
Yeah, none of the lanes that got leads broke the game open.
Exactly.
I think that's what you're looking for. The Ornn did a solid job putting the Malphite in the trash can. In the mid lane, Nico got leads and tried to roam down bottom a couple times, but the bot lane could not get any priority and therefore couldn't clear out the wards. And so it was very easy for Lulu and for Kog'Maw to back on off anytime they saw that Nico was missing. So again, it needs to be a team effort to help out the lane that's falling behind, especially if your lane is ahead.
And maybe a bit of an understanding as well, as if you're looking at those 3 lanes, right? What are you more scared of running away with the game? A Malphite, an Ahri, or a Kog'Maw? The Ahri can be fairly scary if she gets some of those early kills, can deal a lot of damage, but you should be most concerned about that Kog'Maw running away with this game, because if he gets those 3-4 items, he becomes terrifying. And with how he was just able to build such a lead early, it was at 1 and 1.5 items that he became terrifying. So there needs to be more of that recognition that, look, the Kog'Maw's the way they win this game, and if he gets too far ahead, we're screwed, and that's exactly what happened. So some of that recognition, as you said, Sejuani spending more time on the bottom side of the map, devoting that pressure to try and buoy that Ashe Braum lane more towards that mid-game spike and keep the Kog'Maw behind.
I think if I'm both of these teams, if there's something I'm looking to improve in that game, it's definitely looking towards the jungle. I feel like both junglers, fine. The J4 did okay, hit some decent cataclysms, but other than that, they were kind of quiet. I feel like those are the two lanes we didn't, other than the Sejuani, some questionable rotations, not really hitting those glacial prisons. Those are really the only times we really mentioned it. I feel like the J4 had that one rotation top, didn't connect on the Ornn, and then we didn't see him again, really, other than sort of a little bit of a skirmish in the mid. So I think I would look to just get more pressure in from those junglers and just make sure that you're coordinating. The second you get priority in one lane, you got to be timing that, making sure that you're on the back of that, because that's what takes you from like a pretty solid good player to like top tier.
Yeah, just execute. Execute, land your skills, land your enchanted crystal arrow, land that glacial prison, and things change so much more rapidly. Again, you have a proficient top laner, proficient mid laner. Like, allow them to do their thing by landing your very big, very easy engage tool that's necessary for your composition to execute.
Yeah, definitely some opportunities there on the execution front. We're getting just about ready to head into game number 3. Appreciate everybody coming out to join us. And make sure, guys, if you want to come and play, there are opportunities 5 nights a week to come and join in any of our weekly leagues. Obviously, starting with Late Night League on Mondays, our FPS nights on Tuesdays. We've got Overwatch and Apex Legends there. Wednesdays, obviously, our Wednesday night fights. Make sure, guys, if you are local to Orange County, I have to say, come out for Wednesday night fights here in Santa Ana. It is an absolute blast. There are so many people here.
Commander
Such a great
Jesse,
community.
woo!
Yeah, it's honestly great. Come out and meet, you know, the legendary Alex Valle here, Cali Power, and come spend some time with us. Also Thursdays, we got Super Smash Thursdays with Smash Ultimate, and then on Fridays, Fortnite Frenzy. Always a good time. The kids come out and show up pretty well. And hey, you know, if you come and compete, you have an opportunity to qualify for Code Red. That's how you win our Fortnite Frenzy tournament. You can qualify for Code Red at the end of the season. So it's definitely worth coming out, guys. I highly encourage everybody, come out, come hang out with us. It's definitely a good time.
There's something for everybody every night of the week. There's I don't care what kind of games you play. Monday through Friday, you're going to find something that you enjoy. So yeah, definitely go check that out. There's such a cool venue here. Every single time I've been here, it's just like I feel like this is what a LAN environment should be. So I mean, I was here years ago. I was mentioning this, you know, for you guys shut down the street. You got involved. It was civil war. There was food trucks and parties and all that kind of stuff. And you know, that's just sort of the vibe that's here. Everybody's just laid back and ready to play some games.
All right, well, we are into Champion Select here for game number 3, Night Raid with that 2-0 lead over to the blue side, and we'll see how things shake out in the ban phase to start off with the Sylas dropping off the board. And if I'm Daybreak, probably the one adjustment is you probably take the Kog'Maw off the board, but we'll have to see how that goes as they do ban the Morgana to kick things off.
And of course, the Sylas. I mean, they said they nerfed him though. Did they?
They
nerf
did,
him,
and
though?
they hotfixed the armor nerf.
Yeah.
Right, to an extent, because it was a little too much. But Leona taken off there by Night Raid, just taking away some of the playmaking there from Daybreak as the Kalista follow up. Does Daybreak ban the Kog'Maw? I mean, you could certainly make the point, as you guys said, it's maybe just an execution error, and maybe you just say, hey, we can run it back. We can get onto the Kog'Maw. Maybe there's some shifts for some more backline access. But I think it would be tempting fate if Daybreak lets it through here as the Ornn banned away there. Final ban for Night Raid in the first phase.
I mean, not surprised. I mean, the Ornn was head and shoulders the best champ being pulled out there by the side of Daybreak. Those Call the Forge gods were consistently on point. So I like this respect ban. And I love it when the team that's won still wants to walk away with the respect ban, because that just shows me, like, look, we appreciate what we did well, but also what you did well, and that's a sign of maturity.
So they actually removed the Ahri instead of the Kog'Maw, and so Night Raid gets to pick what is Beastland going to carry with. And hovering a Jhin right now, Jhin can kind of do the same kind of things, especially when he gets sped up around the map. Once you get Rapid Fire Cannon and Infinity Edge, the damage becomes quite annoying, and it's very difficult, surprisingly difficult, to pin down a Jhin moving left and right.
We'll have to see Daybreak looking to get their first 2 picks in here, hovering every support in the pool right now, and they are actually going to take the Zilean here. Obviously flexible between mid and bottom lane, but we'll take that Zilean early.
I love it when teams do this to start things off, and it's grabbing champs, and it's still reactionary picks at this point, especially if you have like a mid and support who both feel comfortable playing the champ. So you're like, all right, we can just leave this as an absolute flex. And I've seen this sometimes in like LEC in particular, they do this a lot, where it's like you have 4 champs that could literally go in like every single one can do every single lane, and you're like, well, I have no idea what my lane matchups are going to be. How do I even respond to this? Mordekaiser, of course, can be coming in. Some slight changes with the visibility around his ult as well. So, yay! We're happy about
casters.
that.
We can see things now
Woohoo!
with a Mordekaiser.
This is amazing. In the realm of death. Good times.
Gitrog Monster will run back the Sejuani again here available, and we'll pick that one up. And the Swain locked in here by Night Raid. So that's some very beefy solo laners here for Night Raid to start things off, paired up with that Jhin.
Going to be interesting to see what the response from Daybreak is again in terms of this mid lane matchup, because I felt like they had a pretty solid mid lane matchup there last time around, and I want to see them continue to put some priority on that, and except obviously try and hopefully get a little bit more out of it this time around. They had some decent macro in the early game. We'll actually take down some turrets, which I enjoyed, and got a decent amount of turret plating as well. I want to see them make sure that they prioritize this again. Zilean could obviously be the pickup there as well, but I would kind of like something a little bit more aggressive. I feel like I'm preferring the Zilean a little more in support here. Seeing a Skarner ban come out, Daybreak.
Trying to focus Captain Jarth's champion pool here. They obviously could ban away the J4 that he brought out in the last game, but we'll see if that's a high enough priority for Daybreak. Meanwhile, Night Raid focusing that mid lane. Seems to me they believe that Zilean will go down to the bot side as they ban away the Anivia, and another jungle ban there as Aramis taken off the board. Last ban here for Night Raid. They can continue to hit those solo lanes here, as they've already thrown 3 bans at Golden God and Hawaii versus Gaming. 5 seconds left. They'll think about it here a little bit more. The Kai'Sa already picked up here into the Jhin. Your thoughts on that matchup in Virum here for the side of Daybreak?
I don't. I'm sort of hit and miss. I've seen Kai'Sa's one of those champs where I feel like I either watch somebody absolutely run away with the game, or I feel like she was a complete waste of a pick. Jhin, I feel like you can get a little more consistent damage out. I feel like I've seen Jin's more consistently just run away in the late game. Kai'Sa, obviously, a little bit more execution heavy in a lot of situations. I love the Gangplank pickup, though. Gangplank, of course, one of these champs we've been seeing so much recently in the meta. His ability to just have a bit of pressure and presence everywhere with that ult is just so pleasant. It just helps bail teams out of crappy situations.
Yeah, the Kai'Sa, the way that Beastlands plays, I like the Jhin pick here, because you can play Jhin very aggressively. You can play in someone's face as long as your positioning is great, and we saw almost every time that he knew how to play the Kog'Maw correctly. It was in the right spot. You're kind of in the middle of the pack. You want to be next to your Lulu, and the times where that didn't happen, it didn't feel like it was his fault. It felt like Randy Newman had ended up going the wrong way, and then Beastlands was by himself. So with Jhin being in your face, that's good. On the opposite side, I'm a little worried about the Kai'Sa pick, just because we saw Feral Stasis struggled with these weaker, no-escape type AD carries playing aggressively, and that very much affected the farming ability of Feral Stasis. And that's what you need to do with Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is one of those AD carries that you want to get late to. You can play Kai'Sa multiple different ways, which is a lot of fun. You can play Kai'Sa AP, you can play her AD, you can play her with the tier as well to scale and make sure you get all of your powered up abilities, but it just worries me a bit that it's going to take Feral Stasis a bit of time, and we actually might have some position swaps here on the side of Daybreak.
Yeah, potentially seeing some of that. Feral Stasis is maybe looking to go to support here, and Golden God maybe going into that ADC role. And I would have even liked something like a Caitlyn over the Kai'Sa here, just a little bit safer poke. If you're going to go with that stationary, sit back, ADC, maybe go with something a little bit longer range. You feel a little bit comfortable. I also want to talk about this mid lane matchup, because we kind of glossed over it as it went sort of right at the end there. The Xerath and the Veigar, this is going to be interesting. That's a lot of mage in the mid lane.
Yeah, Veigar's ability here will mainly, I guess window to trade, will mainly come when Xerath is low on mana, wants to step up, get the auto attack to refresh the mana. That's when you can go and drop the Event Horizon, which is now hanging around. Like, it got buffed recently, so Event Horizon now going to see a little bit more play here, and we'll get to take a good look at it here in game number 3 of our late night league matchup. But just the way that this should work is Vhagar should continue to be able to scale with his Q. It should be fine. But then Xerath should be able to farm safe as well from distance. So until the junglers come and get involved, mainly at level 6, we shouldn't see too much action. But again, these teams weren't afraid to trade back and forth in that game number 2.
Couple of frosty junglers. We'll see which one will walk away with here, who can put their opponent on ice. That is my big question mark, especially in the early game. I'm just going to keep making these puns until somebody tells me to stop. I'm just saying.
Okay. Keep at it. I'm on board. One thing as well, the Swain support from Randy Newman. This is something I've seen rumblings about for a little while. We actually had a bit of a priority on it in our Season 3 finals, interestingly enough, kind of right as that started to come to prominence. It's always felt to me a little bit like Morgana, but worse, because you don't bring the Black Shield, but you've got that solid AoE ultimate that doesn't bring CC. You got the snare, a little bit of AoE, range damage, but I'm not totally sold on it. Obviously, you can land CC on multiple people, so he does bring some things to the table, but I just feel like you're putting Swain in a position to not get gold, which he is so dependent on, right? You're looking for that more mid-game pressure on him, mid to late game, and becoming unkillable in that ultimate. So I just look at him at support, and I'm like, you're just taking away everything that he needs. I don't feel like he brings enough just natural kit reliant utility to the table.
Yeah, well, also, you're now more reliant on Never Move and how quickly that can land, and the fact that it can shoot through minions is very useful. The fact that it's a slightly lower cooldown than Dark Binding is another thing that I think is important that people gloss over with it. And the amount of just wide splash damage to help with the shove is helpful as well. So it gets you tempo, it gets you possible CC. It's almost like a Pike with his Bone Skewer.
Sure.
How quickly Bone Skewer can come out. You'd rather play Pike than have a Blitzcrank, right? Blitzcrank's hook takes such a long time to come off of cooldown. So I think there's a little bit more to the Swain than some other champions, as well as the fact, as you said, once it gets later, once he hits level 6, it's just a nuisance, that big AoE area that you have to play around.
I'm actually glad you mentioned the Pike here, because I actually feel like Swain sort of fits into the category of supports who can transition into carries in the late game. I mean, we oftentimes see this as Pike, if you don't shut him down too much in the early game, if you still manage to assist and get involved in these kills, he becomes another independent threat in his own right, and I feel like the Swain will be that as well. Once he gets super tanky, actually gets a couple of items under his belt as well, he's going to be another threat you're going to have to deal with, which also puts a bit of a timer, I think, on this composition, and you have to get ahead, dominantly ahead early against this.
And that's why you saw a rise to other champions that had CC and damage, like Lux. Lux all of a sudden now coming in and being played a ton. That's why back in 2006, Albus Nox Luna, when you saw Brand pop up at support. Now it's a very normal thing to play these mage supports. Before it was you're just an E-girl spamming E with Janna. That's what you did. But now it's very, very much more common to see these aggressive mage-like, CC-like supports that can transition into damage leaders later on. That was very loud.
That was oh me, oh my.
Big shout out to our producer, and everybody in the back.
I'm sure you just saw me jump. Oh, that was that was hilarious. The game is ready, everybody. We're going into it very shortly. Wow, that was exciting.
You guys are.
I'm awake now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I need that energy drink that I asked for earlier.
I mean, I would
be
still,
just fine.
I would take it actually.
Maybe we just get Cullen right before you leave. You'll be fine to drive home.
Yeah,
you'll
totally fine.
Just
Let's have him yell at me
the jitters.
right before I'm about to get in the car and drive the hour and a half home. All right, we actually had to pause, so maybe we're not going to jump into this game. But as soon as it's ready, I swear we're going to be there, because I'm really curious to see if obviously these are amateur teams. These guys aren't pros. They don't get paid for a living. Mental. The idea of resetting your mental after being down 2-0. Can they turn that around? That's a big question mark.
Yeah, a roster swap, I think, can help do that. I think the big roster swap here is going to be huge. And Zillion's going to need to land these double bombs. I know, so we saw Feral Stasis now swap to the support role. You have one of your major carries in Golden God now move into the AD carry role. Can Feral Stasis, who wasn't able to land Enchanted Crystal Arrows, he has 2 chances to land bombs, but those bombs, they gotta land, and it becomes very punishing after your first back and you're able to upgrade your support item to get so much almost unlimited mana in the bottom side of the map. So what needs to happen when you're picking these mage type supports that aren't tanky, you've got to dish out the damage and you have to execute. And from what we originally saw, Feral Stasis had some trouble with that. Will he be able to bounce back? on a champion that needs to do that with a Kai'Sa that needs that so that she can scale? It's big questions here.
And the one thing you can think about, there's a little less pressure here, right? Obviously, you want to maximize your potential as much as you can on that Zillion. Land those double bombs, secure the stuns, and set your Kai'Sa up to succeed here. But hopefully, Feral Stasis looks at this as there's a little less pressure. It's not the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. He also isn't a carry, so he can relax a little more. He doesn't have to be as much of a damage dealer here. So hopefully that frees him up. Maybe that's the mental reset that he needed to find that success and hopefully land those spells and push that bottom lane to succeed. And he's obviously now got Golden God next to him, who looked solid in laning phase. It was a bit of a duel between the Nico and the Ahri in the first game, but maybe having him down there, a little more safety, maybe that's the opportunity for this Daybreak bottom lane to succeed.
That's the hope. And again, you talking about safety, that's why you pick a Xerath in the mid lane. Now you get some role swaps. You don't really have a game to warm up into it. Give yourself a Xerath that's going to play further back, land those Arcano Pulses from distance, and just, again, farm safe. Don't let this game break open so quickly like that.
Yeah, and I think also as well, just getting more priority on those early game rotations and focusing on, like, we had no real contention in the Rift Herald at all. Like, you know, especially always makes me sad when somebody picks up a Rift Herald in the early game and you don't use before 14 minutes. And all that turret fighting goal, I just watched it on the map. I just watched it disappear, and it always makes me sad. I would love to see a little bit more priority towards some of these early game objectives. We saw a little bit of a scuffle around the Dragon early, and Feral Drake, but it kind of was sloppy and messy, and they eventually recovered and rallied on it, but I'd like to see a little bit more of that as well. Just kind of looking back, as you say, and you can do that if you're playing a little bit safer, if you're keeping an eye on the bigger picture and sort of getting less bogged down in the micro, a little bit more you know, focusing on the macro.
And you said something that I think is really important to touch on, the fact that Daybreak in the mid game found their footing. You know, they were able to, I wouldn't go as far as you said, out macro them, but they
were ahead. They were ahead in turrets. Literally, they were just rotating where the Kog'Maw was not. They were actually had 2 turrets at one point. Just saying.
Yeah, I think that's ignoring the big elephant in the room, which was the Kog'Maw.
Yes, it was.
Eventually, he was going to collapse.
It was true. It's true. But at that point, they were split push. Okay.
And so there's hope. There's hope there for Daybreak again, that you have shot callers in mind, that they are able to identify ways to catch up, but you need not just ways to catch up, you need a whole strategy to win. You know, not like, hey, this will get us some gold. It's like, hey, this shuts down their win condition, gets us closer to ours. And that's what needs to be the conversation with these guys.
It's absolutely it's the thing I always say, and if you've watched our show, you've heard us say it before. It's playing to win versus playing to not lose. And that is always the big thing here, is you've got to be identifying what you need to actually do to knock down the Nexus. How do I break through that inhib? How do I get there? How do I win the game? It's not just trying to slow them down. How do we execute on our game plan? I think that's something, hopefully it's the conversation during this pause that they're having right now. Hopefully there's no major tech issues or anything they got to resolve. And they're actually just sitting in game planning through this while they're figuring all that out.
Yeah, and I think, in Virum, you mentioned it a bit earlier, I think what ties this all together is the communication, right? The shot calling, the clear communication on what are our priorities, what are our win conditions, and how do we get there? What are steps 1, 2, and 3 as we look to win this game? And if they can clean up that communication and clearly identify how they get to their destination, it can significantly shift how this game plays out. Then, you know, you clean up the little micro mistakes, and then you're on your way and you're back in this series. You know, you can only go one game at a time, obviously. Down 2-0. As much as you'd like to just win all 3 now, you can only start with the first one. But I think the communication really ties all that together, and you start there, and that's step 1 to getting back in this match.
And I think to Degon's point, the whole idea of just resetting where everybody's playing and the roster swaps, the lane swaps in this case, I think is a great way to reset that, because you're literally resetting that. You're literally going back and saying, all right, I've got to focus up now on this new role that I'm playing and how I'm going to work together with my new lane partner potentially here. So I think that's actually a very useful thing in this case. Normally I would be like, oh, I'd be a little bit hesitant here. I mean, it's a sign of not confident in how things went. But I think in this case it might actually work out for them here. Just sort of X factor, bring it down, put their more dominant laner in that situation where they can be dominant in lane and really help out the map overall. So I think that's what I'm looking for here.
I think that we've broken down this game back and forth, inside out, as much as we could. I'm more interested now back on the way that teams can sign up and what the central region is, what the western region is. Can you break down what the tournament is and how people can get involved?
Yeah, so we obviously have our 2 regions over in the central, represented by our Fort Worth Tulsa, and Colorado Springs location. The rest over in the West. We are obviously here in Santa Ana, up in Oakland, Roseville, Spokane as well. And you guys can come out and visit any of our locations. Please come out, come meet all of us. You can come see me here in Santa Ana, any of our staff throughout all of our locations. A lot of friendly people that are absolutely a pleasure to work with, and certainly a pleasure to come and spend time with and just play games and have a good time. So come out to any of our locations any night of the week. You can check our schedule at our website, esportsarena.com. As we mentioned earlier, you can see the full schedule for the weekly leagues. And also remember, I didn't mention it earlier, if you didn't come out week 1 to participate, that does not mean you cannot continue to play. You can join it at any time. Solo player, full team, does not matter. We will help you get onto the Rift with a team and continue to participate. And you can come in later in the season. I mean, we have to mention our actual season 3 champion, AHS Black, missed a couple of weeks early last season, but came in, won week 6 and week 7, got their 40 points, and became the Western representative, went to the final, started 0-2 in the series, and then reverse swept. So it's okay. You guys can start late. It works out sometimes. It worked out really well last season. So there's plenty of opportunities. Make sure to come out. It doesn't matter if you weren't here this week.
See, I didn't know that the solo players could just show up and help put them. That's huge. I mean, there's so many people who are out there that like, I want to play, I want to participate, I watch esports, I watch LCS, man. I see I want to do what these guys do, but I don't have a team, or maybe don't have my friends play, or you don't have a club at your school or whatever that you can get involved with. But that's super cool. It's definitely a way to come out, especially because it's all local. You can meet people here. It's a great way to meet friends and connect with people who share common interests. In this case, it's League of Legends. But again, there's multiple tournaments every single night of the week. You got your FPS on Tuesday. You got FGC on Wednesday. You've got Smash on Thursday, Fortnite on Friday. There's so many opportunities to get involved. So I think that's fantastic. As I mentioned before, there's something for everybody here.
Exactly. It's a blast. And you get to meet so many different cross sections, of the gaming community with all these different games. We are going to hop into game. We are ready to go. No more pauses. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. Getting into game 3 here. Night Raid versus Daybreak. Daybreak trying to stave off a loss here. They need a win to survive. Meanwhile, Night Raid looking to put the finishing touches on what has been an impressive series so far from then. Line of scrimmage starts from both teams here, and one thing to note, that is that Dark Harvest on Captain Moser. Wow, this Veigar looking to be very scary if he can get those stacking up. Double stacks for the Veigar this time.
Definitely going to be interesting here, keeping an eye on that Veigar. He's just one of those champs who you're like, okay, he's doing stuff. He's doing stuff. Oh, I'm dead now. Like, it's just at 0 to 100. You fight him once, and you're like, I'm not too scared. And you meet him up in the next fight, and he's got items and stacks. And you're like, wait a second. When did you become the scariest little thing I've ever seen? Crazy little Yordle.
Thermistor going to run into Hawaii versus Gaming. A little bit of poke between the two, but they'll both return to lane fairly healthy here, as both junglers will start on the bottom side of the map. Leashes from their dual lanes, and Captain Moser and Trico will meet in the mid lane to kick things off. First bomb landed. All right, Feral Stasis didn't wait long.
All right, I love it. Already off to a better start than last game.
I'm interested in seeing how the Gitrog monster does. He's the only player playing the same champion as that last game. At one point last game, he was 0-6-4. Did not have the impact that he wanted, especially early on. Did land some Glacial Prisons later, but never really got to being tanky at all on the Sejuani, and that's one of the major jobs here that he needed to fill last time and will need to continue to fill this time with the carry top laner. I guess like a hybrid top laner in the form of Gangplank. Feral Stasis.
Oh no, very scary there for Feral Stasis. Flashes away, will actually survive through the Ignite the Heal there from Golden God Key and keeping his support alive, but very scary moment there as Golden God getting locked down here as well. So much damage coming out from this Night Raid bottom lane.
That's why Swain's good. It's
Never move.
Uncomfortable champion because the Never Move goes through minions, and also you just don't see it as much, so you're not exactly used to the range of it, and it seems like it's going to end right before it hits you.
And this is exactly what I was worried about with this early game with this Kai'Sa, because she's just feeling kind of useless down here at this stage, and already we're just seeing the bullying coming out from Night Raid once again. And you know, any questions we had about this lane matchup with this Swain, I think have been swiftly answered by the, I don't know, no HP collectively by Daybreak down here already as they're forced back. And they can't even back comfortably.
Run!
No running here. Flash them down below. Flash up top. Let's see if we can get a double kill across the board. Hawaii versus Gaming X with the turnaround there up top.
The 1v2 kill is, he won't survive here. Captain Jarth has got to finish him off. Minion block, okay, forces the flash.
I almost did a double take on it. I was like, is he? Is he gonna do it? No, he walked away. All right.
Okay. Captain Jarth gets the kill, thankfully. He would have been kicking himself if Hawaii versus Gaming was able to escape there, but Gangplank does fall. But still, I mean, if you're Hawaii versus Gaming, you're feeling pretty good being able to trade one for one there.
Oh, I like the fact, I was going to say earlier, we touched on the fact that Gitrog Monster needed to, at times, not do the efficient pathing and help out his lane that was struggling, but not like that. And now in the mid lane, Trico in trouble.
Uh-oh, trying to escape here, but doesn't have the flash available. That means Captain Moser can't grab the kill, courtesy of that gank from Captain Jarth.
Well, biggest snowball ever comes in, does actually connect. Those big rolly balls, sometimes difficult to line up. With the help of the Vigar there in the mid, of course, going to be able to secure that. So nice little continuation of the kills going in for Night Raid. Seems like they are firing on all cylinders across the board right here, securing kills in all 3 lanes.
I mean, pretty easy there for Captain Jarth, considering that the Xerath is trapped in an event horizon that isn't any bigger than the snowball. What are you going to do? No flash available. It's bad times for the Xerath there. And early lead here for Night Raid. Already up 3-1 in kills. Up 1,000 gold here as we eclipse the 5-minute mark. So Night Raid definitely with the start they were looking for here if they're looking to close out this series with a sweep.
And I talked about, you know, the idea of resetting your mental here and how there's all these different things that they could do to do so. But we also have to talk about momentum. And momentum is one of these huge factors. And yeah, we had a bit of a pause, and I'll let this fight play out. Oh, I say it's a fight. It was just a slaughter instantaneously. At least Daybreak is able to come back in and find something and try to shut down the momentum that Night Raid has, because I was going to be saying, Night Raid still seems like they are firing on the high, the energy that they had at the end of that last game. And this is exactly what Daybreak needs to do to try and stunt that growth.
Yeah, that was a sneaky little play, and I like the fact that you can't miss if it's right in front of you. And so Gitrog able to land his headbutt, the Arctic assault forward on the Sejuani. Now Trico with a nice little trade here on Moser, and you'll take those. You'll take those early. The Qs are not, the Baleful Strikes are not doing that much damage because it hasn't had time to stack, and if Vagar's going to get that close and go ahead and punish that full combo from Trico, and now Moser not feeling so good in the mid lane. Oh, that's all right.
He gets it. White versus Gaming with the whiff on the barrel there, but he's all right. He has a good sense of humor about it as Captain Moser is going to catch Trico here. Some more damage onto the Xerath as Trico has to back away, up a few CS, but things working out so far here in the mid lane as Daybreak just trying to kind of hold on here, down 500 gold.
So we keep jumping back to this top lane. Obviously there was the kill secured on that Gangplank earlier, but what do you... Okay! And like I said, 0 to 100. What do you guys think of this Mordekaiser into this this Gangplank matchup here? Obviously, you know, we've seen things like Lucian brought out to kind of counter him. Gangplank is often so oppressive. There's a lot of fighting going on, but generally... Oh, just gonna let this fight out. Play actually, as we are seeing the kill going in there. Nicely done. The guy's trying to get this one done. Can this Swain follow up? No, the Zillion trying to make it happen. Not able to do so, but great kill there from Daybreak.
Interestingly enough, the Never Move actually misses there. I think it's interesting you talk about the Mordekaiser into the Gangplank, because it really feels like there's so few matchups that the Gangplank is like truly terrified of, and I don't think this is one of them. But when Captain Jarth comes up on the Nunu, things can get a little dicey, but Thermistor's still gonna go down there. The Cannon Barrage coming out from Hawaii versus Gaming, that means Jarth just has to run away in the bottom lane. Golden God's gonna go down to Randy Newman as kills are traded across the map. Meanwhile, Hawaii versus Gaming actually will go down, goes over aggressive. Jarth can secure the kill. Can Trico finish off the Nunu? He will not. So Jarth escapes with that kill. Another 1-for-1 topside.
On the bottom lane, a case of overstaying by Golden God. You want to get that kill. You want to accentuate the lead, especially after giving up the early death to Jin. But we talked about it. That's why Swain's there. Not only is Never Move really annoying and hard to predict because you don't see it all the time, but also damage coming out of the Swain as well. And And just something to keep an eye on. How long is it before the Swain starts making plays of his own?
There's certainly opportunities there. Has hit level 6. The only player on the map actually that hasn't yet is Golden God, still sitting at level 5 on the Kai'Sa. If I'm reading that right, yeah, that's a 5. So the Kai'Sa very far behind, and as you mentioned, really not much of a champion yet in this game, but into the bottom lane, Gitrog Monster is here, forces the flash out of Beastlands. Golden God wants to chase. Does he have the damage? Not quite yet. Is going to get locked down here. The never move is going to land. This could be trouble. Does Beastlands want to continue going? Here comes the snowball. It will land on the Gitrog Monster, but that's a flash in. The ult will force out.
Response from Zilean. He does get his ult up, but he goes down instead. Now they're going to try and follow up, trying to go back on this onto the new are going to start the counter kill, but now we are seeing the shutdown going on through. Okay, the guys get this done. 2v1 situation, not a lot of mana to deal with though as the fight is continuing to break out here up top. Lots of action down there in the bottom lane. Oh my.
Yeah, good trades back and forth. Zilean did a fantastic job getting the chrono shift down on time and then flashing out of the absolute zero, buying enough time to pick off the Nunu, but then that gave time for both Jhin and Swain to come back into the fight at 2-for-1 on the bottom side.
All right. I mean, Daybreak showing some signs of life. You know, the sun's coming up over the horizon a little bit here in some of these fights, but they're just not quite able to get enough out of it. And we're looking at the gold discrepancy right now. It's only about 1,000 gold this stage in the game. It is not insurmountable by any means, but they just need to translate these little kills, these trades, when they find them, into something else. And that's, I think, the big question mark here. That, to me, will show, you know, does this team know what they're doing in terms of actually getting themselves to a position in the game where they can win. And I look towards this Kai'Sa. She needs to step up, needs to start landing, getting that CS, and needs to start to be a force in this game.
I'm a bit worried here with the Kai'Sa on the bottom side just because she's going to tier build here, which is starting to see that a little bit more, the scaling of the Kai'Sa, but you're really putting all your eggs into scaling. You're not seeing any of the other builds that are built earlier, and it just means that it's going to be even harder, especially for the fact that they're down 20 CS, as we get to see just another easy kill. Nunu rolling mid, drive by. See you later.
And that's a combo that I'm not really familiar with. I don't see that too often, but it is being used just brutally there. Oh man, just so much range poke, but it stops becoming poke and it just starts becoming an execution. Night Raid seems to know exactly how much damage they've got at this stage in the game. We're going to start to hit those 2-item spikes, and things are just going to get scary, especially down here in this bottom lane. And this tower, I don't think it's long for this world. It's a lot of turret plating going their way as well. They can look towards the Drake. Soon we're going to see Shelly making her appearance on the map. There's so many options for Night Raid at this stage.
And you hate to see when a Zilean dies with chrono shift up. Yeah. Like, that's not good. That's unlucky.
And the thing we notice right now about Night Raid's bottom lane is just Beastlands and Randy Newman are not scared whatsoever of the Daybreak bottom lane. Golden God, as you mentioned, going for that tier build is just sitting on the pickaxe and tier. Meanwhile, you look at Beastlands right now, the combat power is so different. He's already got all of his components for his Infinity Edge, just waiting for the combo, the recipe cost, which we know he already has in his inventory. So he's just a back away from finishing his first item. So they can continue to play aggressive, and even if they force out the chrono shift, I mean, it's not going to be long before they're ready to finish off the kill. So Night Raid feeling very confident at this point.
I mean, I love the idea of the chrono shift in situations like this, right here, where into, you know, these very cooldown reliant champions, you're going to be able to see that. We're seeing another fight breaking out in the bottom as well. Kills going back and forth here. At least the trade there from Daybreak in the situation. But, you know, they're going to have a lot of cooldown dependencies here. That's where the chrono shift actually is going to get you a lot of value because, okay, they burned everything and we're still alive through this. But the problem is going to be that Jhin at this stage because he's just going to have the consistent damage to get this done. There's Shelly, like I was talking about, utilizing that early, going to continue to get the turret plating. But this time, at least coming out for Daybreak, as soon as the flash going up there up top in the 3v1 situation, go on try and survive this, but not going to be long for this world gangplank. Going to be going down here in just a second. And that is going to be it. Trades across the board.
Night Raid finally making something stick in the top lane. 2v1 wasn't working. We'll just take another one up there.
Whatever works. Whatever works. So that's going to be first turret there. Going to Daybreak, actually. So fighting back in the macro game, like I talked about, something they seemed a little bit more comfortable with as they are going to be securing this here. But the Jhin, that's the big X factor. That's the big question mark. They did manage to get one kill on him. They're actually 2 now in total. So I like what I'm seeing a little bit more here from Daybreak.
Yeah, no one here to help out Golden God, though. I would rather see Feral Stasis get in front of him. Feral Stasis just get in front of him. Flash burnt, so he stays alive. But here we go. This second engage of this bottom lane fight.
Feral Stasis is going to go down. They trade 1-for-1 here. K-Rock Monster's still in trouble, though.
Help.
Beastlance wants the chase.
No help.
He has both of his summoner spells. He can't secure that kill. He will get the double as the Gitrog Monster will fall.
Night Raid just baited themselves. That was not super ideal in that situation. The Jhin is the one champ you cannot afford to feed. You got to starve him out. You got to leave him hungry. But here in the mid, the Vygar, another one of these champs who's just been doing so well. The play with the Nunu has been beautiful every single time we've seen it. D-Gun, he called it a drive.
He's going to flash. Yep. Fourth shot. All you need, can walk right out of tower range. Beastlance is not scared whatsoever, and he'll just go back to knocking down that tower in the bottom lane. So a huge lead. 6-2-0, already has the Infinity Edge and his finished boots, and Night Raid set up for another big game here as Feral Stasis just walks down to this tower. Beastlance, again, not terrified, still has that heal in his pocket. Chrono Shift is forced out, is going to take a tower shot, heals and avoids another bomb and nearly takes out Feral Stasis. But the Zillion will survive.
Round 3, Sejuani!
Swin's going to smell this one out, though, and he does have the ult to work with it. They do want to go back in, but I don't think that's the play at this point.
I think one of the frustrating things, if you're watching Daybreak here, is Golden God died the exact same way on the first death. It's you see the Jhin encroaching upon you. Yes, you might not know that he has Flash ready, but you have to assume that he has Flash ready. That's why he's playing so aggressively. So dying the same way 2 times in a row makes it a little difficult as we have ourselves a bit of a pause here in this top lane tussle.
Oh, seeing a bit of a pause coming out. All right, all right.
Brief break here. We can catch our breath and kind of take stock of the game so far. Interesting to note, one thing that's always brought up in pro play when you're kind of breaking down some of the stats, and one of the ones is to talk about how aggressive, how skirmish and fight heavy a team is, and the stat you always hear is combined kills per minute. Night Raid has 15 kills in 15 minutes just on their own. 1 kill per minute is typically considered getting towards kind of the higher side of combined kills per minute. Meanwhile, Night Raid is just taking it to Daybreak right now on that front, just dominating on the kill front. So a very aggressive start from them. Not that Daybreak hasn't been opting into that kind of style, but it's definitely working in Night Raid's favor.
Yeah, down on the bottom side of the map, you're just seeing bot lane difference. You've had multiple different people now play that role and try to answer Night Raid's AD carry, but have been unable to so far. And although the gold difference isn't huge right now, it's the fact that the carries for Night Raid are fed compared to just Gangplank that has some gold. He's not even that fed.
And the Gangplank is, again, one of those champs that he's always going to be a factor. He is always going to be, whether he's split pushing, wherever he is, he's going to just drop down the ult, and it's always going to be a further level of disruption in these fights. The second you think you don't have enough damage, let me finish my sentence, Hawaii versus Gaming, please. I'm just trying to make a point, talk about how good you are. See the fight break on the mid.
In the mid lane, Golden God is deleted right off the bat. Daybreak going to try and respond, and they do trade 1 kill back, taking down Captain Moser. Trico in trouble, forced the flash away there. So that's a 2-for-1 in favor of Night Raid there in the mid lane. But here comes Hawaii versus Gaming, trying to respond. Meanwhile, Randy Newman activated the ultimate. Good double bomb there. And Trico, where are you going, my friend? I don't know why you just walked down mid lane, but it is going to cost you your life. Locked down there by the Jhin. Randy Newman with the assist, and Beastlance grabs another kill here on the Jhin.
Yeah, he tried to step up to land the stun onto Jhin, who was trying to knock down his curtain call. It did stop the curtain call and save the Zillion, but unfortunately cost him his life. Also, I think if I'm Hawaii versus Gaming, he got his first taste of what the bot lane Jhin tastes like, and it was like 2 autos and all his health was gone. So he now knows, hey, I can't just run on in and play aggressively because there's someone else more fed than me.
And that's so interesting because you feel like you're at a certain power level. When you're in your lane and you're here, I'm like, man, I'm wrecking my lane partner. I'm feeling really good. This is where I'm at. But there's the rest of the rift. It's there. Things have been happening. Look at that kill feed. 18-9, as we're seeing it right now. Look at how dominant he is. I mean, this Mordekaiser just can't do a whole lot at this stage of the game. He's feeling great right now, but as you mentioned, the second he rotates, the second he feels what that Jin's been up to, it's just not a whole lot of fun.
Can I go back to my 1v1 top lane,
Please?
Everybody leave me alone.
Yeah.
He's even thinking, Jarth, you can come up here too. Just leave the Jin on the bottom side of the map.
But this is just, I feel like we're a broken record at this point because it just seems like, I mean, Night Raid doing the thing, letting their carry. It's an old school notion, I know, but you let your ADC do the job. As we're seeing a potential fight get a breakout here in just a second around this Drake pit, as Night Raid maybe going to look to go in and contest this. Daybreak actually starting this one off. They're flashing and engaging, trying to get this kill.
Numbers advantage from Daybreak here, and Golden God going to the backline, but actually going to get caught, stunned, nearly taken down by Captain Moser, but is able to activate the stopwatch, but will not survive. He will fall. The kill to the Veigar here. The Snowball will try and chase down the Gitrog monster. Randy Newman here trying to take down the Sejuani. Will catch him out with the Never Move. Here comes the ultimate from the Zera, trying to get the damage onto the Sustain, but the sustain is too much, and down goes the Gitrog monster. That's a 2 for 0 in favor of Night Raid.
Yeah, that was a great event horizon to stop the ultimate from Xerath to continue to help the damage against the Quinn. And also, Captain Moser was able to pick up the kill on Kaisa because the Baleful Strike not only landed and you're able to stack that, but the Dark Harvest stacked damage as well. I don't think it was going to do that much damage if there was no Dark Harvest, but you saw the Dark Harvest proc, the stack go right into his pocket, and this Veigar now also becoming an issue along with the Jhin.
And we're seeing just Night Raid running away with this. The second you think Daybreak's got a good initiation, the second you think, all right, maybe they can turn this fight around, they just overextend one step too far. See the damage going on through, and in an instant, Captain Moser says no, says goodnight, and Golden God, well, it's no golden hour for him. He's not looking so good.
You know, the lane swap was supposed to be the answer, but all they have is more questions. Trico has tried his best in the mid lane, but it hasn't quite worked out, and I was wondering if this Sejuani is going to look the same, and it is so far. Curtain Call is going to be the right number there. 1, 2 is all that she wrote. The fourth one does land, but the damage has been done. This turret will not stand. 22-9, Night Raid continuing to siege the base.
The Chrono Shift timed well to save the Sejuani. Not so much to keep the Zillion alive, as Feral Stasis will fall there. The cost of saving his jungler, and now it may cost them a middle inhibitor. The Minion Wave will actually disappear there for Night Raid. Event Horizon actually forces the flash out of Golden God, and Night Raid maybe wants to stay. Captain Moser with the fancy feet. There's the cannon barrage. Not enough damage to take him out, but the flash in from Hawaii versus Gaming, and that will secure the kill. Some gold back over to Daybreak there, as the Gangplank will get some more in his pockets.
We're going to see the chase down, connecting with the ultimate Sejuani. They're going to try and turn back onto the stone. Not a lot of HP to work with on the side of Night Raid. They're going to try and reinitiate, but look at the damage.
Golden got in trouble. Trying to escape is very low here. Thermistor will take some further poke. Hawaii versus Gaming has to walk such a fine line. He's so low. The Gitrog monster trying to zone them away, but Beastlance will get the shot and take out the Gangplank. Now he's looking for more. Locks down the Sejuani, but a good double bomb. But there's the Never Move in return. Locks down two. Trico's in trouble. Captain Jarth grabs the kill, and they're maybe looking for more. Here comes the Snowball. Can he chase them down? The double bomb will actually lock them down, but it's not fast enough. Down goes Feral Stasis, but does have the Chrono Shift to survive for now, but it may not save him. Beastlance just shredding through health bars and looking for an inhibitor. Golden God will survive for now, but can't say as much for that middle inhibitor tower.
They look like, you know, they call it absolute zero, but that's just 10 feet under right there. That was just beautiful play. I mean, that Chrono Shift just couldn't do enough. I love the thought process. He's been executing well in the Zillion. Definitely a better pick here for the now support of Daybreak. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe these are actually, this is all one team. These are 10 members of one team. I believe I heard them talking about this earlier. I'm looking at these, and there's great moments happening from both these squads. I feel like if you put Hawaii versus Gamer over on the side of Night Raid like right now, that 5-man squad would be like real good. Like really good. Like that's the iteration. If they're looking to go, you know, continue to play and do cool stuff like that, heck yeah, that would be the roster.
General manager and Virum here.
I'm just saying. I feel like that's the aggression, like the flash forward, getting the auto, that kind of fancy footwork, that kind of stuff just feels like the style point that Night Raid's bringing out right now. And it's working for Daybreak. It's helping to keep them in this game, but I'm thinking like long term for these guys, a lot of talent on both these squads.
And we asked earlier, how effective is this Swain going to be? And I think in that last team fight we saw 3 or 4 never moves land at multiple times that led to every single kill. So it is a high risk, high reward CC spell, but when you get it right, it leads to big things.
I mean, it's not a dark binding, but you know what? They're doing just fine as we now see Night Raid posturing around this Baron and going to be just continuing to push Daybreak back. I'm not sure they're going to be able to really contest this here. They might try and get in range to get something done, but I think that's just going to be Baron heading on over the way of Night Raid. Yes, it is.
Oh, here comes the curtain call. Night Raid wants more here. Hawaii versus Gaming will eat some damage, but the return long-range ultimate there from Trico's Gitrog Monster will Arctic Assault over the wall, is going to eat some damage here from Captain Jarth, but isn't feeling too bad as of yet. No follow-up from Night Raid as Captain Jarth is kind of out on an island right now. Beastlance will drop down a trap to aid in the retreat here. Ooh, Feral Stasis taking so much damage. The Glacial Prison will not land, and Beastlance can return to safety as Randy Newman posturing aggressively on the Swain.
That's crucial. Again, another missed Glacial Prison, and now he's getting to do some time with the gray screen. Does get the Chrono Shift, and Feral Stasis is able to stop Nunu, but there's a never move. It's going to hold him in place, and look at all that damage ready to go in just a second.
Oh, no. Feral Stasis steps too far forward, will see the gray screen along with his jungler. And here comes the rest of Night Raid. They maybe want to finish it off. That's 3 down. Hawaii versus Gaming maybe looking to proxy away, but he isn't even going to get to it. Beastlance will take him out. Trico's going to get locked down and taken down the double kill for the support. And the ace for Night Raid as they look to finish this one off.
This Jhin Swain combo has been dirty from minute 1, and they are just continuing to execute the poke, the setup, the finish. And you have the Vigar as well. Just the exclamation point on these combos consistently been hitting 1- to 2-man stuns. The follow-up has been there. See smaller combos back to back, but you're seeing it right here, and it continues as the rampage for Randy Newman once again with the ace, and that is very likely going to be GG. The guy's going to go and try to get the final damage, but no, in an instant blink and you miss it. That's GG. 3-0 Night Raid takes the series.
3 aces in the span of about 30 seconds there for Night Raid as Daybreak continue to come up and fall right back down. The victory in the 3-0 sweep for Night Raid. An impressive finish there, cleaning that one up in less than 25 minutes.
Yeah, you got to talk about Beastlance, not only the champions that he played, but the player himself. He was impressive on multiple different champions, knew exactly how far he needed to push his limits against this bot lane specifically, and it didn't matter who was in that role, whether it was Golden God or Feral Stasis, he was able to take care of business in a huge way that made it so much easier for the rest of his team to play.
I mean, he was just such a threat down there constantly, and you have to allocate resources to it, but then with tunnel vision sometimes in team fights, and then somebody else would always step up as well, and it just constantly felt like that was just a game of chicken we saw playing on our screen. The second that one team would push in just a little bit further, like, oh, I'll chase this, and they would take one step too far, somebody would respawn, they'd come back in at full HP, and they'd turn it all around, and it seemed like every single time, Night Raid would just come out on top, and part of the reason why they walked away with that series.
Yeah, Beastlance always seemed like he was in the right spot at the right time throughout this game, getting a lot of those just finishing touches on those kills. And you got to respect the Jhin. This is no normal 80 carry. One auto attack can take 25% of your health once he gets a couple of items. So got to respect Beastlance there. Great performance from him and a very entertaining series there as we close that one out, the 3-0 win for Night Raid. We're going to head to a short break, but when we return, we're heading out west for more late night league action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned from our short break. We are here and ready to kick off the Western region action as we're looking for Fruitcake and Titan Gaming facing off in the winners semifinals here. And after a couple of games in the Central coming out to the West, some fun to start off the day, but now switching things up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, two sides of the same coin in that last one. We saw all team members playing for the same team, a little bit of back and forth, but it still just goes to show that at this level of play, one dominant player can really turn things on their heads. We're just going to jump into the next game, though. I want to get back into the action here in the West. And, of course, when one of your teams is named Fruitcake, things are just going to be amazing. I can already tell.
Got to get excited. And starting with the team names, where else would you kick things off? We got a 5-man stack here from Titan at level 1.
And they can do it, too.
Fruitcake's AD carry who's playing Draven is named Intman. That's fantastic.
What do you see him in your game. You see him on your squad. What do?
Quit. Dodge Q.
No, D-Gon.
It's just 3 LP. Just do it.
You just 5-man his lane if you're the enemy. You go after him.
No, I thought you meant if he's on my team.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You take advantage. You make him live up to his name.
100%. It's keep in mind, it's not Ip Man. It's not the not ninja. It's not like the Kung Fu warrior master here. And he's also playing Draven, which is one of the swingiest champions. And I don't just mean in terms of what he's doing with his arms. He's one of the swingiest champions, and he gets those adoration stacks. He's a fiend. He does not, and he is a real sad.
Yeah, well, whenever you're a Draven, there's always an opportunity to play it, and he's going into an annoying matchup here of Caitlyn and Morgana. Played correctly, you can't even stand aside to slow down the Caitlyn and catch up with your axes. And I want to see less of the spot lane and more of some mid lane play. We got to see a fantastic bot lane player. Now let's see some gameplay with I wish I could say his name correct. Amidate Lion? Amidate Leon?
Amidate Lion? I don't know.
Amidate Lion.
Sure, that's what we're going to go with. But this reminds me of this Echo Lissandra matchup. When we started casting League, Dion and I, at the beginning of this year, this was like the meta. We saw Lissandra in every single game, and Echo was one of these pocket picks we consistently saw coming out. Both have sort of fallen off, so we're curious to see how that goes. It's in the bottom lane. Already so much damage. Hitman almost living up to the name right off the bat, though. Not going to go down. Going to survive those whirling axes. Not finding the kill, but woohoo! That's spicy to start this off.
Yeah, kind of wondering what Nico flashed forward for there at the end, but a very great wait on the heal by Simon on the bottom side for Titan Gaming to keep Stun Daddy alive. And after it all, they still have summoners. Flash for the AD carries and ignites for the supports.
Trading 2 for 2 in summoner spells there, so an even trade on that front, but very scary for a moment as Stun Daddy flashes away. Man, nearly finishing him off with the last axe, but just able to escape there. Meanwhile, up to the top side, Train starting to force this wave towards the tower here. As the Malphite just trying to hold on a little bit, down a few CS, but nothing too crazy. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, the wave clear from the Lissandra working out well for Zachary to start.
Oh,
Damage
no!
Coming out. Good binding onto the Nico, and that means Titan Gaming can back away. In-man very low right now. Low in health. No mana to speak of, so the Draven has to be very careful.
Yeah, and that's something you hate to see. The stand aside lands from the Draven, and a very clear 2-man snare was coming out of Nico, and unfortunately the stand aside, I personally think, saved Titan Gaming's bot lane. Unlucky interaction there for Fruitcake's bot lane.
It's what we call counter synergy.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of no fun, as we'll be keeping an eye on that. And hopefully you do it once at the start of the game. You're like, all right, let's communicate. Let's not do that again. Let's call out our timings, our cooldowns. And that's the kind of just sort of organic interaction you need to be having between the support and the ADC. Is we're still seeing this battle in the mid here. And two champs who can just take over if they're allowed to. Lissandra obviously offering a little more utility with the Echo, a little more raw damage and deletion.
Yeah, I'm liking the way Zachary is using the Ring of Frost immediately as soon as Amidate Leon, whatever we decided on here for the Echo in the mid lane, engages. As soon as he engages, you get the damage down, you get an auto down, you get the Q down. It's a nice little combo that he's been able to put together here and survive this early laning phase.
I'm Ami Detelion.
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
We'll figure. It's
Am I
that guy
Lion?
playing the Echo.
Yeah. It's the Echo. You know what? If somebody knows in chat and can feed it to somebody else who's working here who's reading chat, I would love to know.
That'd be
what,
great.
What the that'd be lovely.
Fantastic.
Let's do that.
We want to do right by
Talking
our
about
players.
synergetic, the relationship between the name knowers and name not knowers needs to happen.
There should be no name not knowers here. Wow, that's a lot to say. As we continue to see the damage dish now to the Nico in the bottom lane, can they continue to push this in as the Aatrox is here? That's the Darkened Blade with the Draven going on.
Man.
Trying to make something happen. 2v1 situation, be back in front of the tower, and there's nowhere left to go. Can he trade things out?
The
Stand
flash?
aside. Auto attack. What are you doing, Caitlyn? Hitman still not done. Does eventually go down, but that's 2 kills to the Draven. What?
Oh me, oh my. We're seeing more kills coming out here in the mid as Lissandra's going to be joining the rest of the team there on the gray screen, and 3 kills to 2. Fruitcake coming out on top here in the early game.
And Yurashi wants to trade here, but Titan Gaming, a fight they thought they had in the bottom lane. You take out the Nico so early, you're essentially 3v1 there, but Intman just popping off, able to get 2 kills for himself, and that went way better than I think Fruitcake could have imagined.
Yeah, and one of those things where sign in on the bottom side of the map just wanted to get the kill. The kill was already secured. The Aatrox was going to get it. Caitlyn walks right back on in, and Intaman says, thank you very much. You're living up to my name, and I'll pick up this kill. And here's a Rammus sighting. First time we've seen Fruitcake, the man, the myth, the legend, the reason why the team is named that himself. He comes to the top side of the map, and Train goes down. Nice! Smash!
Good job. Train securing the kill there, knocking Yurashi into tower range. That will mean the Malphite falls.
They burn the flash too. Arcane Smash, it's so sneaky, and rarely do you get to see an interaction like that, and it feels good to hit 6 and blow somebody up as Malphite, but unfortunate interaction. Here we go, more Fiesta on the bottom side of the map.
Hitman looking for more kills. He needs one more axe to finish offside it, but he won't get it. He's trying to get away. He has the heal. Can he get in range? Heal forced out from Signet. He needs one more axe. Not enough. The shutdown for the Caitlyn. And now Almacan needs to escape, but will be locked down in ice, and Stunned Eddie grabs that.
Intman determined to live up to his name, trying to get every single kill and walking away with only his own demise. But so many resources coming to the Titan Gaming, or from Titan Gaming, to get that one done. They're not going to rotate out towards the Infernal, and this is a decision I love. The question is, can they get it done before reinforcements arrive from Fruitcake?
Another Infernal Drake to start this one off. A couple of games in a row here. And here comes the pile-on in the pit. Abandoned trying to escape. But remember, this is an Aatrox with no revive. And he is going to fall. The ultimate from the Echo will heal him up a bit. Flash away from Zach, right? It's the double kill for the mid laner of Fruitcake. Intman able to cash in, though, taking down Sinan. And
the Infernal Drake joining the side of Fruitcake there.
Yeah.
Just so funny that you could see the panic on Aatrox's like motion, the way that he was moving around. Abandon was like, get me the heck out of this pit. You guys aren't helping me anymore.
My ult does not bring me back from the grave anymore. It's just like, you've been playing Aatrox for a while, and you're like, I have a comfort level, and you can do things. You can do saucy things. And now you can't do those things. And I asked the question, I said, are they going to be able to do it before reinforcements arrive? No. The answer was unequivocally no, and now Fruitcake is back in control of this game. They're getting turret plates to boot on top of this. That was exactly the kind of momentum shift they needed to recover from some of those sloppy kills. Draven, Intman, needs to continue to just do his thing down here and not die.
And that dragon kill actually wasn't smited away by Fruitcake. It was actually Datelian. That's what we're going with now this time.
Perfect.
On the Echo, took that one away after looking like he was going to get blown up early by Lissandra. Now Party back on the bottom side of the map.
Ooh. Flash binding doesn't work out for Stun Daddy. Intman will escape for now. Without summoner spells, actually able to get away from trouble there and trading out the flash from Stun Daddy.
I mean, I found the problem. The binding's a root. So clearly, this is just not going to work out for Stun Daddy here. Just saying. Found the problem.
I think that adds up. I'm on board with this math.
Yeah, this is how it works. T-God's just going to let it go. He's going to leave me up to dry. That's fine. I've accepted this. No,
I'm sensing a trend here, all right?
Yeah,
warming up to it,
We're
Paul.
warming up to it. All right, Rammus is rolling on into the bottom, trying to find the ground, and not able to get the Black Shield off in time. That's going to be instant deletion from the side of Fruitcake. You have a way to make yourself immune to CC. Was it on cooldown? We're going to assume yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of AP damage that can blow through that in the form of both jungler, mid laner, and support. So difficult to just be that far up right now for Stun Daddy. Given the fact that they've just been focusing that bot lane so much, it's almost like, hey, they felt like they had the comfort. They were the one that pulled off the first 4-man dive on the bottom side of the map. Now that they have to play defensively, they didn't have that shift on, and now Stun Daddy in trouble, just like Urashi in the top side.
Urashi trapped here in the 2v1. Can Unstoppable force away, will not be locked down there by Train, and can escape to the safety of his tower. Meanwhile, Intman pressuring bottom lane.
Every single time one of these axes connects, it just feels so bad. Okay. I mean, he did get the kill.
Well, you got the kill, and most importantly, you got the kill before he died, so the adoration stacks do go through.
Which is oh so important there. Commits the ult forward as well, but no problem. And now this Nico's going to be able to just continue the pressure here. This Morgana with not a lot of HP. It's just going to be not doing a whole lot to shut that down, as we're now seeing the rotation coming on through once again up to top. We'll see if it ends the same as the last time.
Yeah, Echo's coming, but going to be a big rotation by Titan Gaming. They're going to be 3 members first if T-Train can still stay alive.
Train's trying to escape here. Will go in aggressively, trying to back away. Fruitcake is so low. That's the shutdown for the Lissandra, and Zachary self-ults to buy some time. Abandon now trying to chase down Omni Natelian. T-Train will go down. Urashi here doesn't have the unstoppable force. Abandon going to get the kill. Is going to get the reset on his ultimate. Zachary grabs one more, and that's a big fight for Titan.
And in the bottom side of the map, the supports both go down as well. They fought to the last breath. But again, Titan Gaming rotating first, they're able to get to the fight first, even though Fruitcake initiated that one. That's going to lead to the top turret and finally a breakthrough here for Titan Gaming.
Titan Gaming finally finding their feet here a little bit, able to execute on that. That was a beautiful Frozen Tomb from Lissandra, able to bait them in by enough time. But look at how much damage this Draven is already doing. I'm sensing a bit of a one-trick in a 2v1 situation. No support, no problem. Dodge the body with ease. As well as the soil, as now we're seeing the rotation coming up through. This is now a 3v1 situation. You try and get the kill off before he dies, and no overconfidence. Intman, exactly that.
That was scary. Arcane, we've seen Arcane Smash do good. That time he almost Arcane smashed his teammate into attack range there. Intman had one auto attack left and almost got it off there on Caitlyn, but nice TP play by Train, and that allows now the bottom side of the map. So seeing the proactive plays mostly coming out of Titan Gaming. Now we're seeing some macro plays come out of Titan Gaming.
Yeah, Titan, you know, they've had trouble locking down the Draven so far in this game, but you bring the Maokai down, he can't get away from the Twisted Advance, and it will secure the kill on Almacon as well as Omni Natelian. He's in trouble. Will go for the ultimate, gets a little bit of sustain. Here comes the rest of his team. Unstoppable force on a 2.
Nice
Can they escape? Down goes Abandon. Zachary needs to get away, but cannot buy enough time. Shut down as Intman gets another kill in the bottom lane.
Overstaying.
Trying to buy time against Echo is a real risky proposition, just got to say. So we are seeing now Rift Herald up on the menu for Fruitcake off the back of a beautiful collapse there in the mid. Now just barely ahead in terms of goal. I got to give props. Both these teams are back and forth. This has been a slugfest. It seems like as amazing as we're seeing this Draven do in terms of just general damage and harass and whatnot, it seems like the rest of the side of Fruitcake is just like, all right, Intman's going to int. We're just going to do what we can everywhere else on the map and try to make this work. And Titan Gaming seems to be scrambling to try and pick up the scraps when Fruitcake makes a mistake.
Fruitcake says, I see your one tower, I raise you another, as they'll knock down tier 1s in mid and bottom lane, and Intman will continue to press his advantage here. Bot side, 5 kills there. 4 deaths, though, in response, but has the Infinity Edge and a Vampiric Scepter, so some sustain and plenty of damage here as Urashi. Oh, no.
Bambi Cinder did not work out there because the Twisted Advance led to damage under the turret.
Wow. Yeah, and this is just a lot of poke damage going on through, almost securing it with the ult there onto the Draven. go and go a little bit longer. But Titan Gaming able to just capitalize on the mistakes that Fruitcake is making right here. As now the Rammus is trying to go in on the back of this, though. The Darkened Blade, the knock and the CC, the follow-up, the stuns are there as well. So we have the Lysandra coming up the flank once more. And
I think I can.
Italian coming in with the chrono break. That's a 1v4, my friend. Good luck. He's running. He does get the kill, actually, with the return on his Q to take down the Caitlyn. But the teleport will be Urashi TPing to his death. He has no summoner spells. The ultimate over the wall.
Oh, he walks
Can he get away? No way. He's on the enemy side of the map. He's going to try and get in a brush and back, and it seems like Titan Gaming has just decided they'll let the mountain live.
Mind over matter there, Degon. He thought he could.
It's the I think I can mentality coming out of Fruitcake, one at a time, just trying to make the play and be the hero there. And unfortunately, they just didn't sync it up. And like what we saw with the Central region earlier, when you miss your stuff, don't go in. And each time someone fell, that's a sign to say, all right, didn't work out, let's leave. But everyone tried to salvage it, and now Train overstaying. Nice taunt there. That feels bad.
Beautiful timing there. Will secure the kill here. The Maokai will die eventually, and he won't take anybody with him. Almacon grabs the kill on the Nico. As down falls the Titan top laner.
That took so long. So we're seeing the Draven now going to look to try and go into the bottom. Chains are there.
Goodbye, Ant-Man. Can he get a kill in return? He will. Stunned Eddie falls.
He did go down first, though, this time. Just something here on the side of Titan Gaming. So this Draven is every Draven you're scared of getting matched with in solo queue, except this is a 5-stack. And we're having a blast, I gotta say. I mean, despite the fact that, you know, I actually feel like once they can get him somewhat fed and just continue him, he's already got his Infinity Edge, like, he's actually gonna be fine. Like, as long as they just leave someone to babysit him. It's almost like they've abandoned him in this lane. They sort of accepted he's just going to run down bot, and they're sort of just trying to prioritize elsewhere. If they actually just back him up, send a couple members with him, I actually think Fruitcake could really pull ahead here.
But I like the fact that Int-Man is making his own kills right now, his own plays, and so by not sending people down there, they're getting big enough that later on they'll play a part here, right? So you've got yourself Rammus that has himself a decent amount of farm for Rammus, and the Echo as well. Decent amount of AP damage. Now you have multiple threats that you can worry about. Yes, kind of shepherding the Draven earlier would have been helpful for the Draven and possible that he could carry, unlike what we're seeing right now. But it could be huge because now here, Amadatellian is able to clean things up.
Yeah, Stunned Eddie going to lock him down with the chains there, but it won't save his life as Almacon comes in to secure the kill. That's not the Pop Blossom one. It started to feel like It-Man hasn't recognized the fact that you're not as far ahead as you were at 10 minutes, right? Ooh. The game has shifted over the last few. The Caitlyn is back in this game, but It-Man has not changed his play. Meanwhile, beautiful setup from Almacon going in aggressively. Urashi, he may die for it. Takes another tower shot, but they are actually able to take it down thanks to the help of the Rift Herald. That's one kill for Fruitcake, and they're looking to press the advantage.
All right, I was a little excited because we got to see a team play Wombo Combo last game, but to see it executed this time is so exciting. And another dive by the Echo, and it was a base race, bad base race call at first by Titan Gaming. Fruitcake with the Herald now moving right on through the mid lane.
They're looking for the inhibitor. It will charge on. Good chrono break there. Reminding Telling as he has to flash away. Down goes the Rammus as Zabana can get a kill, and now he's looking for more good snare from Almacon, and Fruitcake will retreat.
They do retreat, but in all the time we saw a great Echo ult and some decent poke damage, but they didn't get the inhib. So by like one auto attack,
that's fine. I don't think that. I don't think that you could have stretched it out. I don't think you could have stretched it out anymore. You saw how low those health bars were, and compared to the situation that they were in before, with Train split pushing on the bottom side of the map, he was hitting the second tier 2. You not only got their tier 2, you got their inhib turret and multiple kills. You want that inhib, but I think if you stay for that inhib, it then bounces back. We've seen so many cases of overstaying.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, I wouldn't even have dove past the inhib like they were doing. They were diving, you know, onto the Nexus turrets there. But we're seeing, nice little engage in the mid. Frozen Tomb is going to be an option here as they're trying to chase down the Echo.
Shoot him with a water gun.
There you go. Get her done. As we're seeing a bit of counter push here from Titan Gaming, trying to reassess some footing here, establish some vision of their own, because right now they are sorely lacking. They have one ward on their opponent's side of the map. And no real surprise at this stage, really, in order to continue these rotations. And they have the pick potential. That's the thing. They can set stuff up with the Morgana, with the Lissandra. They can make it happen. They just need to get a little bit more control and feel comfortable to execute on it.
Nearing 20 minutes into the game, even in the Drake count, and Ocean up against an Infernal, but the Baron about to come up. These teams near dead even right now. Just about 2,000 gold separating the two, and as this game goes later, that advantage means less and less. And honestly, if I'm Fruitcake, I'm disappointed in the gold advantage I'm working with right now. You actually got bottom lane going so well early, but they haven't been able to force the advantage there on the Draven, and Itman's regression has cost him.
Anytime your Draven has died 7 times by the 20-minute mark, something has gone horribly right or horribly wrong. We're sort of toting that middle line right about now as Echo's here on the flank. The binding does land. Can they follow up on it? That's the big question mark. Doing a lot of damage going on through. Can he get the ult off in time? It's going to be able to do so, but we are seeing the rest of the fight breaking down around the Dragon Pit. Lots of damage going on through. Able to leak the Aatrox instantly. No res for you. The follow-up is there. And this Draven is just shredding right on through them. Echo not going to be able to walk away. 2-for-1 trade so far as Fruitcake's pushed on through the flash.
No, 3 axes is all Ant-Man needs to grab the kill on the Caitlyn. That's 3 for Fruitcake, and they also got the Drake. A double Infernal Draven that is terrifying. Ant-Man wants more.
The axes are still spinning. There's still blood in his opponent's veins. They're going to try and get this done. Flashing through, trying to commit. The Black Shield is there. They are now going to look for this inhib, and they are going to be able to get it down. Fruitcake have got what they came for.
Oh, he's a crazy man!
They want more. Train's going to go in to try and save his support there, but will fall. Abandoned. He's looking at those low health bars. He may want to go in, but Fruitcake can back away. They may look for the Baron here. It would be very risky, but...
Oh, man, with the HP bar, I don't know. Degon, what do you think?
Yeah, just back in the Dragon Pit fight, it felt so bad for Zakurai because he wanted a TP and ult himself, and he accidentally ulted somebody else and got stuck, and eventually ended up dying after that TP play. And that's what started that whole chain of events. And then Itman just constantly going in and forward, and oh no.
Oh, goodbye sign, and the binding will land, but it isn't going to matter. Itman grabs the kill, cashes in once more. Stun Daddy will lock down a few with the Pop Blossom. Actually will miss. Good defense there, but Abandon going so low here will go down. Itman grabs another, now looking for Zakurai, but that is the shutdown onto the Draven. Now the Lissandra has to back away. There's low health bars. Zakurai cannot get the kill. Fruitcake will take him down. Train wants to chase. The shutdown, though, on Almacon. So that's a 2-4-3 in favor of Fruitcake.
Oh, that was so close for Zakurai because the depth from the grave, the passive damage now that comes out of Lissandra that was changed patches ago, got everybody low after Ant-Man went down initially. And a fantastic defensive flash, as you touched upon there, by Stun Daddy to get himself out of trouble and buy enough time to slow things down for Titan Gaming. But right now, Fruitcake on the front, and now we expect to see a lot of dancing. The Baron form, of course.
Oh, yeah, we always see. We get to this point in the game, and we're like, all right, this is the dance. We're doing the do-si-do all around this Baron. How much control can we establish the ward and counter ward and trying to get vision into your opponent's jungle? And of course, the damage that you did earlier, this is where it's paying dividends. Where did you take down the turrets? What did you do in that phase? In this case, if you're Fruitcake, you pushed in, so you've got minions in the lane to continue to assert that pressure. The Titan game has got to clear up as we are seeing the choke point. A fight is breaking out.
Oh, beautiful, unstoppable force under the backline, but there's no follow-up for Yurashi. He's all on his own. Meanwhile, Fruitcake trying to fight front to back as Yurashi goes down. It's 1-for-1 so far. Abandoned. Getting some knockups over the wall, but here comes Fruitcake back around the taunt. The damage. Here comes Ahmed Italian. 1 kill for Ant-Man, and the Echo's looking for more. Locked down and goes gold for now, but it's already a 3-for-1. Double kill for the Draven. Looking for a third. Sign-in. You cannot escape the taunt in the BM from Ant-Man. Just sitting there, the ace, as Fruitcake finishes him off.
Yeah, the top laners did their job to perfection, both sides separating the rest of the team, and they basically die exactly at the same time. But it's the big wraparound surprise by Fruitcake coming around the corner, stunning and taunting the Aatrox for such a long time, and then they picked a bad fight. Moving on after that did Titan Gaming. They needed to realize this is a bad choke for us to fight in, and Ant-Man can just walk forward in a line feeling very, very safe after the Aatrox goes down. They win the fight. They get the Baron.
They do indeed.
In a second.
Any
There we
second. Hitman stopped attacking. As you do.
Yeah, they delayed to get it on all 5. They wanted Ami to tell you to respond, so they get the 5 Baron buffs here. And now a game that was so close for so long, now a 7,000 gold gap between the two as Fruitcake looking to put the finishing touches here. They're definitely set up to succeed finally. Hitman struggled a little bit as they entered the mid-game, but I think he's found his footing.
I don't even know if it was struggling. He did this to himself. You know what I mean? He put himself in positions. I'm like, look, I'm going to get some kills. I'm going to die. It's fine. I'm just going to cash in some adoration stacks and have some fun. And that is exactly what they are doing here. But they've now reached the point of critical mass, where you literally walk into this fight and a couple of autos will shred. Caitlyn at this point just not fed enough to sort of be that counterpart in these fights. The Aatrox is doing not bad when the Darkened Blade connects on the back of the chains, can do something that Knockup is doing fine. And Lysandra as well, these Frozen Tombs have been used well. Oftentimes we see them sort of like, okay, I can kind of split the fight, but what can my team do with it? Those aren't really the issue. The issue is just that Draven is just hitting so hard, it doesn't matter. You can do all the right things, just don't have enough HP as a team.
Mirashi now trying to apply a little bit of split push pressure. Zachary up here to respond and try and protect that tier 2 tower, but it's the 4-1 set up by Fruitcake. So the rest of the team now bottom lane looking to push for another tier 2.
I think you look for this bottom turret and then you rotate back mid. You no longer have super minions running down the mid lane, so that's something you can look at with no inhib turret. But here we go, full dive bot lane.
Trying to get onto the Maokai here. That's the ultimate already out of the Echo, so he has to temper his aggression a little bit, and Fruitcake will back away for now, but they still get the tower, and there goes the Malphite. Almacon gonna take down Abandon, and more will fall. That's already 3 dead, just Zachary left here. The double kill for the Echo. Zachary will survive for now, but it will not be enough. That's a triple and an ace for Fruitcake.
Yeah, Caitlyn doing the horrible sin of stepping forward on the Malphite. He didn't even have to flash for that last unstoppable force, and you're seeing a lot of BM from the boys from Fruitcake. They're savoring every moment, every bite of victory here against Titan Gaming.
They deserve it here as they're pushing in for the win. That's the GG as they played one solid.
Man, he had to do it.
He did.
He had to do it going into the fountain. That's the win for Fruitcake, cleaning that one up, finishing with up 10,000 gold, the 3 Drakes to their name, and a stylish finish, I would say.
It was a style.
Yeah.
It was a style. No, that was solid. I mean, I think they realized their mechanics were just a little bit superior to their opponents, and they sort of played off that and relied on their individual skill. There wasn't a whole lot of synergy. We saw it a little bit more with, but a lot of it was just Echo being a beast, Draven being a beast and just being ridiculous about it. And those situations, again, when you're able to hit 2-man unstoppable forces and the rest of the team can follow up, you can have the best response in the world, but at that point, they're just too far behind.
Yeah,
so,
I think you're seeing a little bit of inexperience, again, from the bottom side of the map. Sign-On just stepping up too many times there on the Caitlyn. You have to have that disciplined spacing when you're playing a Caitlyn, especially against all those engage tools and all those dive tools in a Malphite, in an Echo, with a Rammus that wasn't afraid to flash taunt, and a Draven that wasn't afraid to step up and punish as well. So we didn't quite see that from Sign-On as much. I think that's something that we can look forward to as they play in the losers bracket. And I think you like the fact that Titan Gaming in the first 15 minutes were the more proactive team. I think Fruitcake got the best out of these trades in reactive ways, but in terms of who was trying to make the plays, it was Titan Gaming. But then after the first couple of turrets went down and they were able to trade back and get even more turrets, I think it was 2 and 2, that's when we started to see Titan Gaming fall back a little bit, take a little bit more time, and that allowed, I think, the easier to execute team composition of Fruitcake and the Malphite to just go in, blow things up, to start really manifesting itself. You really didn't want to stay clumped up. Unfortunately, that's what happened with Titan Gaming, and we saw multiple team fights go the way of Fruitcake.
Yeah, certainly some things to build on, though, as you mentioned there for Titan. We obviously saw that great fight with both top laners getting onto the respective teams and zoning them away for so long. And as you mentioned, the early game looking well, some proactivity. So Titan Gaming, some things to learn from, but they still have an opportunity, as you mentioned, go down to the losers bracket. They can get some redemption, and maybe they have the opportunity to challenge Titan once more for the title this week.
Yeah, I mean, and Fruitcake too. Like, they walked away as the victors here, but that wasn't a clean game. Let's not kid yourself. And I think you hit the nail on the head because Titan Gaming was making the right moves. They were just getting out-mechanicked in the process. The thought was correct. What they were doing was correct. It's just that mechanically, skill-wise, Fruitcake walked away on top. And Fruitcake will be in our next game again. So we'll see how they continue to build on this momentum. We're actually going to jump into the pick ban for that right now up against, there's a team that have Moon in the name, and it's Upper Moon. Is that it?
There we go.
Upper Moons. There it is. I was so close.
I think this is one of those things here for Fruitcake where in the series that we watched back in Central, it was a little bit more with Night Raid and Daybreak. It was a little bit more of being out-mechanicked. In this one, for Fruitcake, I think it rested on a knife's edge because it wasn't out-mechanicked. It was more of out-executed. It wasn't like, hey, these guys actually can't keep up. It's more of like, hey, these guys are making mistakes, and these are mistakes that we're able to capitalize on. Better teams won't have those types of openings, especially ones that are unforced. Like, unforced errors are very difficult to come by when you're playing against other stable teams. And we saw a lot of unforced errors coming out of Fruitcake. He had the ability to play a champion like Draven did Intman to get that huge, so it really didn't matter if he died as long as he got the kill first. He doesn't have that luxury now. Dying 7 times at 20 minutes usually means your team's not doing well. That's usually how it works.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out here. Obviously, won't get the opportunity to play his Draven this time around, and actually Upper Moons will take away the Nico that Almacon just played. So the bottom lane we will see on something different here for Fruitcake.
I think we've seen 100% involvement rate from Nico so far. Definitely one of these champs that everybody is, I think, keen. Just so much utility with the lockdown, and of course Pop Blossom is one of those game-changing ultimates if used correctly. So interesting to see how well this is played. And the Malphite Echo, once again, seeming to be a staple combo for Fruitcake.
Solo lanes will look very similar. Obviously, as things have shifted in the jungle a little bit on this patch, Echo has the opportunity to go to the jungle, so we could see that, but Fruitcake obviously could go back to the... Oh, actually can't go back to the Rammus, I should mention, actually taken out that last ban by Upper Moon. So,
you know what's not banned is his clan tag name. Rengar is not banned yet there for Fruitcake, so we could look at that, and I wouldn't mind a Rengar there, and as long as Malphite plays a little bit tankier, go with the tanky Malphite build. We've seen a lot of, in solo queue, we've seen a lot of AP Malphite build. Bless those top laners solos.
I mean, if you look towards like the top echelon of pro play, it's very rare that you, especially in the meta right now, or at least in the past like 2 months, that you'd see like a double tank between jungle and top. Traditionally, you'd see, we're going to go for more of an assassin jungle, or we go for more of like an AP focused top. We see a lot of Vladimir's and stuff like that, and Kennen was popular for a while. But now it seems like at this level of play, having double elements of tankiness is really popular. But we have a Kha'Zix actually coming in from Upper Moon, so they're saying, we don't need more tankiness. I want to go in and execute you. And I don't actually mind that decision here. I actually like having a little bit more aggression into a team like Fruitcake, who we know already will make mistakes. So if you can start to get up into them, all up into their business and force them to continue to make mistakes, I think that's how you can actually take them down.
And we don't know these lanes quite yet here for Upper Moons. It could be any combination right now for the solo lanes in the form of Nautilus mid, Nautilus top, Nautilus jungle, Nautilus support, Nico top, Nico mid, Nico support. So there's a lot of play here with those 1 and 3 picks. Kha'Zix probably going jungle.
Yeah, I think you could bet on that now. That just makes the ban phase a little bit more interesting for Fruitcake here. They take the Morgana away, seemingly recognizing that those may be solo lane picks already on the side of Upper Moons, and the Rengar banned by Upper Moons.
What do you guys think of this decision from Intman to be likely going into this Kai'Sa here? I feel like after the play that we just saw with that Draven, that doesn't even seem to be in the same school of thought going in with this Kai'Sa now.
You can play Kai'Sa very aggressively and up front and try to weave in those auto attacks, but that seems to be a little bit more of a dated style of playing Kai'Sa, mainly because a lot of the nerfs that have hit her in terms of the damage, especially the very first one, the AP ratios that got knocked down, so from getting all the stacks of plasma on there. So I think it's interesting. you get the invis early on, and so you supercharge your E, and you go invis and try to make outplays that way, but you don't even know what the bot lane is yet. So I think we'll wait and see how Intman decides to play this one.
But hey, I mean, if you're Intman, why flash forward if you can just killer instinct all the way to the back line?
I mean, that's just solving a lot of issues right there. And he's got the flash to, like, go even further enough. No retreat here.
Exactly. He's not going to wait till the end of the game to get under your fountain. He's just going to killer flash onto it a lot earlier.
Right, and there's the cannon. Talking about that earlier. So, interesting to see. I mean, obviously something that can flex top, flex mid. A lot of flex picks. You talked about this as well, Tegon, from Upper Moons. This is a draft that could really pretty much go anywhere. I mean, I would expect it probably Nico mid and Cannon top and Nautilus support. But, you know, that's just my guess.
But you would be wrong, good sir.
Oh, I would. I would.
Okay, are we going to see a reckless bot lane Kennen right now?
Yeah, we won't know until they show us. That is basically what it is. Because I've also seen Kennen support, which is terrible.
Stop it.
But I've seen
Please don't.
Stop.
Don't.
You cycle through a lot of different stuns. You're able, again, to stun through minions with your different lightning rush stacks. It's doable. It's possible. Okay, maybe it's on hit Nico down on the bottom side of the map. We saw a lot of that at the beginning of the season. That is actually the champion that ruined all of my champions at 50% win rate. I think I'm 2-12 with Nico on the bottom, and then I stopped, and then it got nerfed. So now I think I'm just going to finish the season at 2-12 with Nico. Nico's a terrible champion who should not exist.
Oh, wow. I'm sensing some bitterness from the couch here. Pretty standard draft over from the side of Fruitcake, Kaisa, and Tarek, of course, in the bottom. No Sona, though, of course, because that became a thing for so long. And now we actually have an ADC, so I'm pleased. I like standard sometimes. You just got to go standard.
And so you asked if Echo was going to stay jungle. Apparently he is. So Fruitcake will stay on the Echo. It's going to be a Kali Pantheon matchup here. And surprising that I think I'm a Detalian picked into this, right? Pantheon wants you to pop the smoke and hide in the smoke. And then basically your spear takes up 1/2 of where you can hide if you're a Kali in the shadow. So that is one thing to kind of keep your eye on if you're Pantheon, as well as the fact that as soon as you show yourself, you can get stunned. So an interesting little setup here in the mid lane. We'll get to see which way it tilts between Amaditalian and Wonder Ginger.
Want to remind everyone, of course, as we jump into this next game, you're joining us here at Esports Arena for the Late Night League. This is week number 1 of Season 4. All these players are playing in various LAN locations across California as we are here on the West Coast, vying for points over the next 8 weeks. They'll walk away with prizes. Tell us more, because there's tournaments every night of the week.
Yeah, cash prizes every night. You can come in and win that. And then you're also playing for points. Remember, you're looking to stack up those points, play towards the end of the season, because the top teams from the West and Central will represent their respective regions in the final in week number 8 for Late Night League. So definitely tons to play for there and more cash on the line for that week. So make sure to come out and visit us. You can actually see our locations scrolling across at the bottom left of your screen, so you can see exactly where you need to go. And make sure to hit us up at esportsarena.com for any further information, again, about the leagues, where we're located, all kinds of times and stuff. So that's where you need to go. You can also go to Discord. We're on Discord at discord.gg/esportsarena to get into our server, come and talk to staff, maybe get some more information there. But yeah, that link's at the bottom of your screen. One thing that I also find interesting looking at that draft, you talk about the Pantheon into the Akali matchup. We just saw Akali get nerfed on this last patch. She has no more stun on her ultimate, so that's somebody who already had some presence that is coming down a little bit after this last patch.
Apparently, I missed that in the patch notes.
I thought it was she has only 1 stun on her ultimate. And so on the second one, so you go through.
I'm going to tweet at Freak if he lied to me on his video. I watched Freak Show today, and he told me there was no stun.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm looking at
you said that, and I went, I don't feel like I read. So yeah, let's check that. We're gonna look
check
at that.
the patch notes.
We're gonna check the patch notes.
Send a very angry tweet if that is wrong.
I'll talk to David. We'll have a chat.
There you are. There you are. Yeah, I mean, but I love the fact that they're not afraid to make. I mean, that's a pretty drastic change. I mean, at this stage, and this is, of course, Worlds patch. We are going into Worlds now this week. There's obviously the highest, tippity-top tier League of Legends on the line, and this is the patch that Riot feels is the most viable, the most balanced going into it. So, changes like that, considering what the top play has been doing, I think it's interesting because Akali has been such a staple. I mean, I went to LCS a couple weeks ago and a little bit before that, and she's played like almost every single match if possible or banned. Her involvement rate is incredibly high, and a good Akali player can actually just take over a game. So wouldn't be surprised if you're correct and that went through, but it would still be a drastic change to have to play.
I agree, a big shift.
Anytime an assassin and someone squishy that wants to be dealing damage like that can buy time. So normally that's in the form of HP or tankiness, but in the case of Akali, with CC and with being able to hide in the Twilight Shroud, it makes that so much more difficult to play either against, so you have to play it, or ban it away, which opens up something else that just is either more tanky but not a lot of damage, or way nuts damage but not a lot of tankiness. So having someone that has both those things, very difficult to work through.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the glass cannons. I mean, into the Pantheon. A Pantheon, of course, one of these champs who, wow, he's just had a roller coaster of emotion of late. What do you think? Like, Pantheon's an interesting spot because he was just so brutally strong. We're in the game. I may hold this point. But he's so brutally strong. He's been toned back a little bit here. Where do you think he's at right now in terms of spots and even laning in the mid here? How do you guys feel about this?
I think in the mid lane it's good. I like it more as someone that joins a fight like a traditional top laner, or even a jungler from distance, almost like a Nocturne that doesn't need a ton of farm to make things happen. But yeah, the numbers very early on, like most Riot releases and re-releases, are tuned too high and then come back down to too low, and then find somewhere in the middle. And Pantheon's in that process of finding that place right now. But I think right now in a good spot, in a very good matchup here in the mid lane.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out. We'll have to keep an eye on that mid lane for sure. Wonder Ginger, certainly with a good opportunity to succeed in the 1v1 matchup here. And we'll also have to see, we've talked a lot about junglers throughout the night and how they affect the game in that first 10 to 15 minutes. And I think the mid lane, we're going to have to look for that jungle pressure. Do Fruitcake and Yuhumaniac get to that lane early, try and swing that matchup.
Well, I mean, in contrast to the first match to this one here, Fruitcake was doing the things I want. Obviously, you have the ability on Aramis to have those rotations. That feels so comfortable. That feels so good. But I want to continue to see that here from him now on this Echo. It felt like he was in the right place in the right time a lot there. He facilitated a lot of those early game kills, and that's what I need to see, especially considering how this mid lane match was going so far. I think you nailed it there. He needs to be looking to put some pressure on this because Akali, well, if it keeps playing like they're playing right now, is going to run away with it. So we did actually get some word from the back, the voice of God in our ears, and no stun on the ult. It was just a damage bump, which is interesting. So you are correct. You were not lied to.
Thank you, Freak. You didn't let me down, my friend.
And I misread the patch notes. Voila. And there it is. So that's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that because, again, the amount of utility that she's offering now in these fights is reduced, and also her kill potential, of course, now being drastically lower, now having that additional piece of CC. As we're seeing the fight break out there, Nautilus with the dredge line, just trying to bring him back in, but the damage coming through from the Nico, equalizing that, the poke, the trade, back and forth already. I mean, both these teams, they're relentless right now.
Wonder Ginger taking a lot of damage here, actually, from Ahmed Italian. Is, man, Qatar looking very good so far, landing almost every snare, putting a lot of pressure on Int-Man as the Fruitcake bottom lane has to back away towards their tower as the minion wave will come to them.
So we are seeing up top as well that Kennen, one of my personal favorite top lane champions. I feel like you have so much to offer with this kit and slicing Maelstrom, finding that in the back, landing on 3 people. There's not many better feelings in League of Legends.
Especially when I love to see AP Kennens more. Obviously, that's kind of the more playmaking ability. You come in with the ultimate here, and you can just shred people. Every time I think of a good Kennen ult, I think of Jat yelling, "Smeb!" at Worlds back in 2016 and absolutely just losing his mind as you just watch health bars melt, and that's always kind of the bar that I think of. So I'm hoping to see that here from Pathetic, and definitely some playmaking ability there.
Yeah, that is the Rock Tigers Smeb flank in the mid lane that helped the Rock Tigers to great successes. Nice flash by Ahmed Italian. He should be fine here. Yuhumaniac still going, but there's
no spear.
All right, 3 flashes burn in the mid and 1 killed secure. I call worth if you're the side of Upper Moons. Kind of worth. Not really.
And you can kind of see it's definitely worth. And
It's
you can
definitely
see the way that lane interaction goes with the Pantheon and the Akali on display there in the first couple of trades. It's as soon as she shows herself, you get the stun, you throw the spear, then you back up and you have your shield to pop up so that you can get out safely without taking up too much damage.
And we are seeing continuous pressure down here in the bottom. This Nico just making life difficult here. And I've talked about this a few times now, is the Kai'Sa, just how little she offers here in the early game. And we've seen it consistently. Really does need to get a few items under her belt in the bag there in order to make things a little bit more viable down here. And just getting bullied back right now. The Taric just not really able to facilitate a lot of playmaking, which means Fruitcake's going to have to come into play. Talked about it in the middle as well with this Akali, can do a lot of damage, can definitely secure kills, but maybe have to look towards this bottom as well to try and take some pressure off.
And I mean, this feels a lot similar to the Ashe that we saw earlier in the day. Dgong, you mentioned how really the Ashe spent so much of the laning phase with less than half health. This Omnitalian's going to get caught here and taken down by another spear, but it just feels like Int-Man, as we saw with the Ashe earlier today, just isn't going to have any agency, is always going to be under kill threat, is getting caught by so much CC, and it's going to be very difficult for Int-Man to be effective in this game if this continues.
I will say Int-Man is doing a bit better than our fellow friend Ashe earlier. Only down 1 CS. Yes, out of pots, and we'll recall soon as long as no death's been dropped. Gotta be careful when they use Dazzle so early. When you use your stun as Taric, that gives leeway for Nautilus then to engage because he knows, hey, there's no CC to stop a full-on engage here. So I think Almacan has to be a little bit more conservative when he tries to go for a stun.
And if I'm the jungle here coming down, you know, if I'm actually either jungle in the situations, I think it's worth the time in your rotations and your pathing right now just to bait a flash. At this point, you don't even need to fully commit here to try and get the kill at this point, but just go in. We have all 4 flashes available in the bottom lane. I think worth at this point just trying to take some of those out of there. Set yourself up for when you do hit level 6.
Upper Moons with the early dominance in the mid lane. They have a deep ward, so I'm sure they're aware that Echo is in that vicinity. And then with the missing ping from the mid lane, Upper Moons back off on the bottom side of the map. Good communication from the squad.
Int-Man trying to regain some pressure in this bottom lane. They've been forced back to their tower so much, but finally trying to get this back to even. As you mentioned, things very close in the CS department, so Int-Man doing his due diligence here to keep this lane close, as Qatar and Juicy have tried to apply a lot of pressure, but they'll be able to back. And yeah, that lane gank from the Echo will not work out as he's spotted out.
Yeah, he spent a decent amount of time there. Kind of hanging out. That was like a good 30 to 40 seconds that Kha'Zix was able to clear his bottom side camp and catch up in CS and in farm and in experience. I mean, and so something to keep your eye on. As Int-Man might have bit off more than he could chew.
Oh, Qatar wants something here. Is going to lock him down with the Pop Blossom and looking for more, but actually takes so much damage up front there. Has to run away as he's burning from the Oh, that's an isolated Kai'Sa, though, and down goes Int-Man. Almacan soon to follow the double kill for YuHuManiac. Qatar burning from the Ignite will go down to Omnitalian as here comes Wonder Ginger, and we're going to get some more folks. Flash in for the Nautilus. The auto attack will lock him down, and Wonder Ginger gets another kill on the Akali.
And through all of that, the TP was actually used coming down from Iraqi in the top as well. So more resources committed here, but wow, what a series of kills from Upper Moon. An interesting thought to start that off, and they finish it up. That TP into Pop Blossom, that doesn't happen.
Feels good.
Feels real good.
That was a nice coordinated play by Upper Moons, and I think a calculated trade. It's like, hey, there's a strong likelihood I'm going to die, but this can go really well for us. As now Yarashi biting off more than he can chew. He wants to try to make this TP worth, and instead he's just wasting more time to allow the top laner to continue to get big.
But you just ult onto Wonder Ginger, but you have no follow-up. Yarashi taking a lot of damage here. Killer Instinct is available, but Int-Man is not going to ult that deep, and Upper Moons walks away.
Yeah, Upper Moon's doing a good job shaking the pinball machine because right now Fruitcake are on tilt. They're forcing plays here, but Pathetic might be in a bit of trouble here. Fruitcake trying to make this solo play happen. Flash being burned. There it is.
There's the kill going through onto the Ken in the top. Nice rotation from Fruitcake, the namesake of this roster, able to execute and take him down. That is exactly what they need to do at this stage because that lane, they've been pretty quiet, all things considered. And given the fact that you actually had Yurashi TP, that was a lot of free time that Kenny got to sit up there and continue to get big. Shutting him down was crucial. So going in now underneath the turret, the pop lock and the follow up the dredge line. Beautiful kill going on through. But it looks like that is going to be the death of the Nautilus, is now trading out 1-for-1, 6 kills to 3. Fruitcake able to trade it back. Upper Moon's not able to do it clean.
There's still a good, I think, a good engage here by Upper Moons. And the big takeaway from all this is Amakan's getting bullied by the Nico the way that he was bullying on the Nico earlier.
In the mid lane, Fruitcake's looking for something here. Won't catch Wonder Ginger in the parallel convergence. That going to get a lot of damage returned as he was in tower range, and a couple of tower shots means that Echo is running.
Interesting play right there. Just, I think, not really respecting the damage that the Pantheon was able to dish out there, of course, in addition with those turret shots going through as well. But a 3K gold lead right now for Upper Moons. They're continuing to put the pressure onto this Kaisa, trying to get down, going to turn back there onto the Nico.
Killer Instinct?
There it is.
Wow.
That's why you guys asked, why is he playing this if it's a late scaler? Because you can Killer Instinct forward when it's one person. When it's multiple,
one
don't do that.
Yes,
but
no.
Nice play there by Intman to turn that one around. It looked bad after the snare landed from Nico, and Intman.
This is the Intman we know and love.
Yeah, getting closer and closer to building the Muramana to get it to start scaling up here.
Juicy's down here by himself, but maybe not for long as Yoo-Hoo Maniac's on his way down, but Fruitcake has actually sniffed that out and will get away from danger here, able to retreat to the safety of their tower. And it looks like Intman wants to back and spend that gold early tier, so nothing changing in the Kaisa that we've seen today, but for the early Muramanas. So
I have to say, Intman doing really well on this Kaisa. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, maybe the Draven, is a bit of a troll in this situation because he's out CSing his opponent through all this. He's 2-1-1 right now. He's looked really solid in this so far, completing that first item. And, the gold is in the right places and showing that he's not afraid to take those clutch duels. We are seeing a fight breaking out in the jungle.
Ahmed Italian has to run for his life, and Fruitcake retreating as well as 3 members of Upper Moons here. They're locking down Almacan for now, but the Taric actually fairly tanky at this point, using the sustain there. Flash. Spear will not finish the kill. Meanwhile, Fruitcake's in trouble. Chronobait gets him away. Qatar with an aggressive Pop Blossom, but will be punished by Intman. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Wonder Ginger gets a kill. May go down here to Yurashi, trying to escape. Actually gets the level up, a little bit of sustain. It may not be enough. Here comes the rest of the team. He's running. Can he escape? The cheese wheel will finish him off. The shutdown for Yurashi.
I like the spunk there from Wonder Ginger to try to do the Patrick Mahomes, look this way, throw that way, but flashes, misses his spear throw, and then ends up dying. And I think if they would have stuck together, Upper Moons could have won that fight on the bottom side of the map. And again, just a little bit of mis-execution. Good idea, mis-execution there.
Fruitcake going clutch in that fight as a team, taking advantage of some just not perfectly executed play there from Upper Moon's potential. A little scuffle, a little skirmish going to break out there in the jungle. The Cosmos is going in, the sweepers are out, trying to keep track of their opponents, but this is a 2v1 situation. Nice little bit of movement there from Fruitcake, but we do have the Nautilus here as well, bringing everybody together. The fight is breaking out. The Pantheon is coming in, shut down onto the Echo. They're continuing to put the pressure on through, but they're going to try and continue to fight this in the back. I don't think this is the right call at all, Degon.
No, it was not the right call. Taric walked right back on in and brought the big rock in a lot of trouble. Now Intman trying to pick one up before the TP comes in. He's able to get this one. Kennen will come and clean it up. Overall, just a 1-for-4, a massive overstay here for Fruitcake.
Triple kill there for the Pantheon. We were scared about that matchup, and he had that, as you called it, the Patrick Mahomes in the mid lane that didn't quite work out, but I'd say 7-1 gets that triple. He's feeling pretty good right now.
I feel like I need to stop complimenting these teams because the second I do, they do exactly the thing that they just punish their opponent for. Yeah. It feels bad, man.
You're the embodiment of caster curse today, my friend.
I am. As up in the top lane, the Akali is making some friends with a chameleon. Not super friendly, as it turns out. But still, I mean, Upper Moons was able to. There was 3K lead, then it was a 1K lead. Now we're at a 3K lead again in terms of this gold. So able to stabilize there. It seems like both of these teams are pretty evenly trading blows. And the second, as I said, one makes a mistake, it's like the other one's like, well, I've got to do that too. I've got to make it even.
Wow, Ultim. Wonder Ginger trying to run away, but he is going to get collapsed on here. Almost no way he can escape. Doesn't have the flash. There's the unstoppable force. The shutdown comes through, and Fruitcake grabs the kill.
I'm liking the fact that Fruitcake was fed over that kill. Last time we saw them play, he was on a Rammus, not so much a hard carry. In this case, on the Echo, he's a lot of their damage right now. I'm a Detellion, not having the same game as he did in game number 1, or the winner's semis. And so now they're shifting the focus onto the Echo. Smart play here by Fruitcake.
We're seeing the continual push coming in from Fruitcake now. That is that mid turret down. That is the opening, we should say. And once you take that down, there's so many more opportunities that you create in your opponent's jungles that you can take advantage of. It's hard to take advantage of when you're dead. They are going in off the back of the Nautilus. Pop Blossom only connects on one, trying to land this chain CC, but the damage is still going to come through from that guy. Says the fight's breaking out up top as well. Tried to get down the Kha'Zix, but in the bottom, the Nautilus is there. The damage from the Echo underneath the turret. And they are going to try to take down this Malphite as well. And they are not going to be able to flash to the wall. Find it, though. The double kill from the Nico.
Oh, no. Akali, Detellion used his shuriken the wrong way and jumped into the turret rather than away from it. He ended up dying in that 1v2, so good play by the Nico on the top side of the map, or by the Kennen on the top side of the map.
I actually think there was kills going out in the top, kills going out in the bottom simultaneously. We do see 4 members dead there from Fruitcake. They said the Nico did get the double kill as well, but she ended up going down for it. But it's this Kennen who was ganked once successfully, but I feel like otherwise has kind of been under the radar so far here in this game, and he is just continuing to scale, and we haven't really been paying attention to him too much.
He is, and he's going the team fighting Kennen, the AP Kennen build, not a split pushing build or any of the other types of builds to like try to 1v1 here. Is Int-Man able to walk away from the Pop Blossom? Getting caught, that's
May not work out, but is going to survive for now. The support from Yurashi might be enough here. No, Qatar is going to get the kill, but will go down, so it's a 1-for-1. The shutdown for Yurashi.
Oh, you got to time those Goldens correctly. He tried to pop the W, did Int-Man onto the Zhonya's stopwatch Qatar, and unfortunately mistimed it, got himself killed. And it's those small misplays here. Amakan is a very tanky boy.
He's not that tanky, but Echo's here. He wants help to shut this down. Going to try and go in and follow up. You have a little bit of support, though. Of course, with that Nautilus, we're going to try. Actually, going to just ult himself out, not wanting to take this too far. Pantheon is rotating. I think it's the right call. How far do they want to chase this?
Amakan, he's safe.
Doesn't want to run in between those towers. Recognizes he could get collapsed on. And actually, here comes Fruitcake now. They're looking for Juicy. Taking the aggressive pathway there through the Tri-Bush, but they've dropped the Rift Herald, and they're looking for the tower here. It's 1-2 in favor of Fruitcake in the tower department, but Upper Moons is looking to tie that count up, but the collapse is on its way. Solo laners from Fruitcake are on their way to the bottom lane, so if Upper Moon stays, they could be in trouble. They will not, though. Rift Herald will fall. Shelly drops, but the tower does not survive.
Yeah, and Tarek, you can see, again, Amakan just not feeling very comfortable on this Tarek. That last one popping the Cosmic Radiance so early that it doesn't allow Fruitcake an opportunity to make plays. He's using the ultimate at the wrong time or defensively, and you have 3 champions that want to dive in the form of Malphite, Echo, and Akali, but when you're using it to buy 3 seconds from Upper Moons, that's a long time now where you don't have that and you can't make plays.
And you're going to have to make plays if you want to walk away with the win here in our upper bracket finals. Week number 1, season number 4 of Late Night League. Kha'Zix going in.
No.
Found an ADC. It helps if you hit all of your abilities. And Int-Man is going to try and walk away. Flash going into the Pantheon. The stun follow-up is there. Wonder Ginger. And in the middle, Pop Blossom not going to get it once again. Bad luck on these Pop Blossoms. How much of it's luck? How much of it's...
Oh man, if you're Int-Man, you just want to die. Just kill me earlier. Don't give me an opportunity. Use my ult, flash away, make me feel like I'm making plays. Just kill me. Just kill me earlier.
I'm sorry, Amir. Run that one back for me
Don't
one
worry
more
about it.
time.
No, don't worry about it. It's
You
fine.
sure?
You know,
Okay.
just hit your skills. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Maybe have some follow-up or some initiation that's not your blossom unless you've got a flash. Now we're seeing the collapse in the mid. The Terror's going to be the target. The Kha'Zix is there. Finds the kill, but they want more.
Almacon dropping there, and here comes Upper Moons. Trying to chase down Fruitcake, who is below half health. Does have the Chrono Break available. Oh, they found Omnitelian, and this Akali gonna flash over the wall while in the Shroud, and Upper Moon's none the wiser. Fruitcake and Yurashi just walking right by. That seemed like tempting fate, but they will use that mid lane tier 1, and Upper Moons may continue to push. The respond late from Fruitcake.
Push is in effect now from Upper Moons, though, and I love the fact that they're taking advantage. But now when the massive ult comes in, hits 3, the Pop Loss going to try and follow, but instantly getting shut down. Goes gold a little bit longer as Nautilus. There's a shutdown on the cannon. Key member not able to get up the Slicing Melts. Trying to go back in now is the Kha'Zix to try and follow up in the back line. And here they can not even close. Trying to follow up. The Pantheon is the next one up on the menu for Fruitcake as they are just executing them one after the other. And that is a 4-for-1 trade.
A yo-yo in the mid lane, back and forth. Fruitcake overstaying in the mid lane tier 2, and now Upper Moon's doing the exact same thing. And finally, guys, we have a Yurashi spotting. We had him about like 15 minutes ago in the bottom lane when he TP'd and did nothing. Now he gets a big-time 3-man ultimate there for Fruitcake, and that's going to be a mid-lane tier 2, maybe? Question mark? Oh!
The response from Upper Moons is here. The tower will go down, but it may cost Fruitcake his life. Has a Chrono Break. Activate. Use. Oh, I don't think he had any mana. Fruitcake's going to go down. Almacon going to get locked down for a moment. Qatar's here. Here comes the flank. There's the Kennen. There's the Storm. Down goes Almacon. It's pathetic. Is going to grab that kill. Maybe looking to chase further. Blast Cone over the wall will get Omnitelian away, who, credit where credit is due, did not shuriken the wrong way earlier. Caught Wonder Ginger, made it count, but Fruitcake punished as they push for that tier 2.
So it's a yo-yo-yo. This time, Upper Moon able to take advantage of Fruitcake overstaying, and right now, these two teams just need to stabilize. Stabilize a little bit, go shove your side lane. If you're Int Man, you've been living up to the name the last 3 deaths. You just respawn, died, respawn, died, respawn, died. He's like, forget it! I'm going to the top lane. I'm going to catch some waves. Leave me alone.
So you know when you guys walk into like the office, like the FBI agent, like in like a TV show, and they got those little glass metal balls on the table that go back and forth. That's what we're watching right now.
Oh,
as
here
the fight
comes
goes
the
in.
collapse. Yurashi trying to get on the back line, but Fruitcake is falling apart. They're jumping onto Almacon. He's going solo, caught by the snare of the Nico and Omnitelian. You're not going to survive this time. That's 4 dead for Fruitcake and Upper Moons. Watts Baron.
Let me finish making my point, Fruitcake. Gosh, you're so rude. No, that was a sick ult again coming from the mouth fight, but it just wasn't enough. The team, instant response from Upper Moons, and that's a Baron to boot, as they are now in full control of this game with this. With Baron buff, they can 4-1, they can push into these inhib turrets. If they don't take at least 2-0, we'll be very surprised.
Yeah, again, when you're Fruitcake, the team Fruitcake, you need to play around Echo Fruitcake so that you're able to burst some damage there, but you can't. There's not enough damage right now to burst 4 members. And so you can get 1 or 2, but in that team fight, great ultimate, yes, but it doesn't give Fruitcake enough time to dish his damage as Echo. And there isn't really another source that is dishing out widespread amounts of damage. You want to isolate someone if you're Kai'Sa right now. You don't want a big, wide team fight quite yet.
Fruitcake just trying to stop the bleeding right now. Down 5,000 gold, which at 23 minutes is a little rough, but it's not insurmountable. But they really need to get more gold onto Intman and Omnitelian and find a team fight where they can really take advantage. It's crazy to look at a team composition of Upper Moons that's very squishy and think that Fruitcake would have a trouble fighting front to back, but Yurashi going in here isn't going to get much. Almacon's going to go down to Qatar.
Force this fight here if you're Fruitcake. Got to get it going now.
Yurashi doesn't have the ultimate any longer. Fruitcake looking to chase down Parallel Convergence. Will not land. Juicy, can he escape? He will. Fruitcake cannot follow up, and Upper Moon survives, and here comes Qatar. Beautiful snare, the follow-up for Wonder Ginger. It-Man goes down. The Chrono Break is not enough. Humaniac gets the kill. Omnitelian, the only member left alive.
Uh-oh. It's a very low health cause because Akali is still in this, but Upper Moons was able to do so much in that. Off the back of the Pantheon, all the beautiful flank coming in as well, finding multiple members. And off the back of a beautiful slice of Maelstrom, all the damage they had in the mid, they were able to dish out so much to get 3 kills. And now, as I mentioned, if they don't take at least 2 inhibs, I will be surprised. There's inhib number 1.
Yeah, Fruitcake had that opportunity to try and get that engage, especially when they saw 2 members on the bottom side of the map. It's now Kha'Zix trying to pick up the kill. Here comes Kennen around the corner as well. Detellian has to use perfect execution to get to safety. And Fruitcake now on the back foot. And Upper Moon's taking advantage of the yo-yoing back and forth, putting Baron in multiple different lanes. And that was the right opportunity for Fruitcake to try and force that fight. But once it got drawn out for as long as it did, things didn't quite work out for him.
Upper Moon securely in the driver's seat here. That gold lead now ballooning up to 7,500. They grab their 4th Drake, but here comes Fruitcake. They want more. They're trying to take down Pathetic, but he goes gold in the lightning and shut down, though, onto the Kennen. Wonder Ginger's going to fall as well. This may be the fight for Fruitcake. Can they get onto those priority targets? But Juicy's surviving. So is Qatar, and down goes Italian. Good double snare. Here comes Humaniac. They need to wear through those health bars, but they're surviving for so long. Fruitcake's got to get involved once more. The Q's going to land on a 2. Qatar goes gold, but down goes Juicy. Here comes Fruitcake. Humaniac's on the run. He doesn't have any support. The double kill for the Echo, and Fruitcake has their fight.
What a scrappy flight, and Flash committed to end it. Fruitcake with the ace, the Echo, the key target, the damage that needed to be dealt with was just dealing damage instead. Throughout the course of that, what a sloppy back and forth engage, surviving, riding the chaos was Fruitcake through all of it. Utilizing mobility. The Kha'Zix tried to go in, was in the opposing team's jungle, tried to find the flank, but just did not have enough HP to work with there at the end and couldn't secure those kills.
Yeah, and it started with the decision from Upper Moons to try and squeeze in that little dragon right at the last second after going back. And again, we've seen this theme over and over again with these teams. It's overstaying and being a bit too greedy rather than just stepping away. This isn't game-breaking here for Upper Moons. They are still up 5,000 gold. I think the other thing I want to note in that fight is how patient Echo was. Echo did such a fantastic job waiting in the Dragon Pit, waiting for the cooldowns to come back online, while both Yurashi and I believe is Detellian just waiting for such a long time in the middle. But Intman has not had too much fun right now with Kha'Zix in the game.
Yeah, and once again, he's up to that 7 death mark. You hate to see it. Well,
maybe it's at 27 minutes though.
I know.
To 20
better.
minutes.
And he's getting those items in. I mean, look at the.
And it worked out last game.
It did. I mean,
and
worked out. Yes.
They won.
They did win.
And Qatar is has 10 deaths.
There you go.
Like, he's died more than me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This Nico has been optimistic. Optimistic. Case in point.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, actually, okay.
Qatar's in big trouble here.
No.
Will go gold.
Oh, no.
Will it be enough? Humaniac's actually here. It just takes out the Akali.
Jebaited.
The Flash.
I mean,
that physically hurt you, D-Gun.
Yeah, it did.
I could tell.
This is the physically hurt laugh.
No, that was nice. Again, just more shutdown there onto Italian, if that's how we are committing to saying that name. So we are seeing a bit of a scuffle break now in the jungle of Fruitcake, going on in, able to pick up the target. There is the res.
He feels good now. He's
Burn
like,
to the
take
GA.
it back.
There it is.
You killed me all those times. How's it feel?
Meanwhile, Qatar is going to teleport to bottom lane. Very scared of getting collapsed on. Actually, a great TP there to escape Fruitcake, who was up coming for blood to that bottom lane.
And now we're seeing just, you talked about Upper Moons being the driver's seat of this game, and they are. But Fruitcake is stabilizing. They're doing a very good job of recovering at this stage. My 2 inhib prediction did not come to pass, and give it a couple more minutes. Look, it was close. In about 2 minutes, of course, that other inhib will respond, and Baron's backup is in play. So we'll see how the do-si-do, the dance, is break out around it. And Fruitcake's like, we don't want to dance, we just want to party here in the Baron Pit. Question is, can they get it done in time as they're pushing? There's the pop boss, fighting 3 members, trying to get the rest of the damage on through, but they Looks like the Nico's going to get out to start this off. The Nautilus on the back, the Slice multiple members, but all through this, we saw the Baron doing a lot of damage to his gold in the center, but this is the Ken in the midst of everybody. But look at the damage through with the E. The Nico's still there on the flank, and this is so much from Upper Moons, chasing down the Flash, committing to the Pantheon on the back, trying to find it, but the Akali's trying to run out. Cannot get it done. Upper Moons punishing the hubris of Fruitcake.
Almacon's ultimate at the start of that fight was actually great. He bought so much time early, but they couldn't kill the priority targets to start off. It bought so much time for Upper Moons to regroup. It wins them the fight, gets them the ace, and the Baron.
I just think that it's too aggressive of a call. You don't have...
Yes.
Look at the multiple dragons on one side and how many you have. Upper Moons shreds through Baron. Your team does not. And having your Rashi in the pit to tank that up doesn't seem like the right play. I think you flip it. You have Almacon in the pit tanking the Baron mostly, and you have Yurashi outside kind of scouting out, being more like a decoy and a dummy out in the front. Instead, how did Nico just get in and land a 4-person Pop Blossom? The setup there for Fruitcake wasn't all there, and by setting up incorrectly, it left Upper Moons with a fantastic opportunity to flank, and they took it.
Because Upper Moons, I feel like the way they put themselves in there, sort of, they went in not one at a time, but we're seeing the continued pressure. Man, this is just wild. Forced to pop the ults already. This is, wow, they're just committing here. The Echo, a bold move, Cotton, not paying off for him there. Less ideal, I was going to say. One big unstoppable force in the back that, you're right. Committing him to the pit was, I think, a bit of a mistake. There were opportunities to punish Upper Moons there, but Fruitcake way too optimistic on that Baron call.
Teleport coming in. Pop Blossom will not land onto anyone as Fruitcake is in retreat, but they're actually getting collapsed on. They're stuck on the wrong side of their base. Almacon is going to take a lot of damage here. The Taric will not survive, and the kill goes to Wonder Ginger. And here comes Upper Moons. Yurashi trying to run, flashing away, wants to hold onto that ultimate, knows it could be key in saving the base, but it may not even matter. He's getting so much poke, and he will fall. He's locked down forever as Wonder Ginger grabs the kill.
I mean, he was CC'd forever, but the best CC is death as Upper Moons is pushing in, taking down these Nexus turrets, and that's going to be GG. They miss every ult and still win the game. Beautiful play here from them at the end, trying to hold on as Fruitcake. They can't get it done, and that is GG. 40 kills to 26, an absolute bloodbath in the upper bracket finals.
Upper Moons able to finish things off there. Talk about bloody. I want to say a commanding victory, but really, you look at Fruitcake and they made some mistakes. Sure, the Baron call, very risky. They're looking and thinking, oh man, you know, Kha'Zix is still dead. We have some time here, but the lack of recognition on how slow they would take down the Baron punishes them. But, you know, props to Fruitcake. They had some flashes of brilliance here. They certainly had the opportunities. They didn't execute every time they needed to, and it allowed Upper Moons to continue to work with the gold lead they had and finish it off. But there's an opportunity there. They have a chance to come back if they can win in the losers finals. They can certainly get the rematch that they're looking for, but, you know, credit to Upper Moon. Big win.
Yeah. I don't think these two teams were very different in terms of, like, mechanical skill. I think it was decisions. If Fruitcake made a couple better decisions in a couple situations, couple better rotations, didn't chase a couple of kills, didn't chase a couple of fights, it could have been a very different game. I think that Fruitcake, couple little adjustments, they can come back, and I think they could even take it in another game. So we'll see if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we may have the opportunity to check that out later, but we are going to head to a break. But when we return, more Western action from Late Night League. Don't touch those keyboards, folks.
That's me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Chuckleheads have returned. Yeso, Inferium, and Degon
Hello.
are here.
Hi.
Late Night League, week number 1, season 4. We're about to head down to the losers bracket, the lower bracket of the Western region, as we continue with tonight's games. And draft should actually just be finishing up now, so we should either see the tail end of that or hop right into the game. A couple of interesting games in a row we've had here. Very bloody.
Yes.
Just
For
night
sure.
overall, I would say.
I would say beyond bloody. I would say both teams are determined to fight at any cost. I would say that we have squads who are like, they're like sharks. If there's one drop of blood in the water, all you need is one drop of blood in the water, and they're just all over that. Oh, our enemy is retreating. They seem weak. Let's dive that. But wait, there's more. It's like a Billy Mays dropped into the rift and just slapped everybody who tries to overextend.
I think we've found exceptional AD carry play. It's been a lot of
Yes.
fun seeing the AD carries get to work and make things happen, and I want to see a little bit more out of the mid laners. That's what I want to see. Mid lane play. Let's get some proactivity out of that superstar role.
Yeah, I mean, probably the best mid lane play we've seen so far was actually Wonder Ginger, interestingly enough. Building a big lead on the Pantheon in that last game, and he was 7-1 at one point and really starting to pop off on that champion. So we've seen a little bit of it. It's peeking through here. Now we'd maybe like to see it continue, see if these mid laners can really pick things up and take the attention off the bottom lane. The AD carries are stealing all the spotlight.
I mean, it's a carry role. You know, they're supposed to be somewhat of a star there. But no, I agree. I think that we've seen so many dominant mids in the LEC and the LCS in particular that you kind of expect that play, you know, when he's in general competitive because they set such a high bar. But, you know, we just have so many playmaking champions in the mid right now. You got so many options, too. I feel like the mid is one of those the most wide open spots right now because basically any champ that we see laned in the top, you could also see laned in mid, so that the champ pool is just ballooned dramatically. So what I love is because some of these players have been playing for so long, they just got this like back roster of comfort picks. Like, man, I used to play like 100 games on this champion like 2 years ago. I'm gonna bring out that pocket strat, and sometimes they just dumpster with it. And that's what I always love to see is somebody bring out a pick that we haven't seen before. We saw earlier, like things like the Xerath that could have been amazing. Things like the Vigor just doing, I mean, obviously a lot more popular now, but things that we didn't see for a while that are now suddenly super popular that people have actually been low-key been playing for years, and now they're monsters on them. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities to dig into their back pockets, pull out those hidden gems in the champion pools and show them to us here. And obviously, when you're at the lower levels of play too, right, at the top end pro play, you're less likely to see those unless they're very specialized. You get like the Frog and Anivias and stuff like that are just those super, super, super good picks that they're so well practiced on. But when you go to the lower levels of play, you can get away with it a little more, and people are also a little more willing to do it. They're confident on it, right? I've got 150 games on solo queue on this pick this year. I don't care if it's C tier in the current meta. Like, I'm going to bring it out. I'm that confident. So, you know, hey, let's see some more of that confidence. Dig down in those champion pools. Let's see something spicy. Why not?
Let's do it. Let's do it in this game.
Yeah.
Right here, right now. Let's see what the draft is. We're going to be seeing it right as you are, and we'll see if my request has been honored. Oh, I mean, a little bit. We got a Galio. All right. I'll take it. It's not quite what I was hoping for, but it's fine.
And early game shenanigans coming from OCC right now.
Oh!
That was a little scary.
Instantly worth.
That is actually my favorite level 1 right now, the tribe rushing. You can do it with things like the Braum, the Nautilus Morgana, where you can take that near guaranteed level 1 CC, and it's just so weird to play around because you can do it. You can play it like Sinon did there, where you step out of the brush to try and see it, but it almost always forces a flash. Other ways, you just get caught because that binding from the Morgana, if you don't step out of the brush, it's almost guaranteed to hit it. You throw it at the right time.
Yeah, and with Jinx being played right now with no flash, that's going to be another immobile AD carry that's going to have a bit of a difficult time. But now Titan Gaming having a bit of early game shenanigans themselves, and Darius in a bit of trouble. Woo! Barely getting over the wall. Lisa forced to flash over the wall.
Eye coming out from Titan Gaming. You force a flash from one of ours. We'll take one from one of your own. And we're going to take your red buff for it as well. Oh, all right. Saucy play from Titan Gaming to start this off. They are shaking off the loss in that last game up against Lower Moons. And two very interesting bottoms. I feel like these are like tale as old as time bot lanes right now. You've got Jinx, you've got Sona, you've got Caitlyn Morgana, which I feel like is probably one of the most played. It's like Braum Ezreal. It's like you just saw it forever. It's just such a practiced dual lane there from OCC.
And we've seen, and I touched on it earlier, dominant bot laners. Sign-On and Stun Daddy were not one of them. So now in a losing matchup here, it's up to Sage, Skux, and Wishy Boot to make them pay here. They've got to stay proactive, keep your wards up so you don't get flanked by the Master Yi. And oh god, why the trap takes so long to come out? Nice binding coming out of Wishy Boot. And unfortunately, no trap coming down either. So Sage Skux not able to pick up that kill, but they've got to keep making plays like that happen.
Sign-On just has to back away here. Trap starting to litter the bottom lane as Sage Skux and Wishy Boot forcing this wave towards their tower. Already forcing out the heal from Sign-On there as he's able to finally sidestep one of those bindings and buy a little bit more time. But yeah, Stun Daddy not on a champion that I would say lives up to his name quite. Does have the ultimate from the Sona, but I would like maybe a little more something from him early game. We'll see how things work out as he's caught by a binding here. Some more poke comes out from the Caitlyn. Meanwhile, up to the top side, Jax versus Darius, a matchup as old as time when it comes to League.
Oh yeah, these are, I mean, two champions that can do so much once they get ramped, once they get going. Jax, you can 1v9. Darius, okay. Okay. Interesting decision there from La Stan. I can't.
La Lisa.
La Lisa. Perfect. I have very bad eyesight. All right, we're just gonna go with that. It's actually true. I have very bad eyesight.
Yeah, I thought it was actually dangerous that Train jumped in to La Lisa, and then I thought it was peculiar that with no flash, La Lisa burnt Ghost to chase the Jax.
Can I also make a note? We have some of the best names of the entire tournament in this game. Like, how often do you have Stun Daddy versus Wishy Boot in the support position? Up here with La Lisa is in the mid. We're seeing the Galio going on in, able to hit the Winds of War, doing a lot of work off the back of the Justice Punch, trying to establish some dominance over the Ahri there, of course, and needing to hit that taunt every single time. But even if you do, you can just continue to go back in, the pressure off the back of the shield, the taunt. So that Galio, I mean, we saw it mid, we saw support run a sort of flex position there, but I'm actually liking this aggressive play in the mid. These bindings are going to connect. It can be very dangerous for Titan Gaming at the bottom as well.
They're basically waiting for one of these junglers to come on in and equalize these low health bars in the mid lane. As you can see now, Galio will head on back, but Master Yi rotating his way down bot and up top. Train has flash, nice stun, and will be able to lead strike himself to safety.
Wow, actually able to escape without spending the summoner spell. Things were looking very dire for the Jax, but patience from Train saves the summoner spell and actually gets him to safety. So the first gank won't stick there for the Evelynn on the side of OCC. Meanwhile, the Caitlyn Morgana keeps doing Caitlyn Morgana things outside of landing that binding.
As we are seeing no kills yet for either team. I would say this is probably the most pacifist game we have had yet of the night. Not by any choice of anybody in the game, just the fact that we've actually managed to survive the damage that's been pushing out so far. And my big question mark now has to be towards, you touched on it, these jungles. I have to see what these junglers are going to do here once 6 is reached, once they're going to feel comfortable enough to sort of make their way over to these lanes, and then what lanes are going to prioritize here. I'm personally kind of looking towards mid here as well as the bottom. I think top is kind of just going to deal with itself at some point, and obviously you do want to shut down the Jax, you need to shut down the Darius, but immediately the Jinx and the Caitlyn, if you make Caitlyn behind in particular in the early, oh, it's just, it sucks. It's so fun.
Two wants to go in here in mid, actually lands a lot of damage
wow,
on the Zac.
full combo.
Will land the charm. So he won't go down, but man, great 1v1 by 2.
Yeah, 2 was able to get that type of damage down earlier and just took a bad trade against Ahri. I want to see him now back off, wait for all the cooldowns to happen, and it forces Zakirai back. Something else that we need to note there. Zakurai, did he flip positions? Was he playing mid before?
Yeah, he was. He played the Lissandra.
Who was playing top? Who was the guy that was playing top on the Malphite?
That was on the side of
It was their opponents.
Fruitcake.
It was Fruitcake, yeah.
Okay.
Fruitcake's top laner, Urashi.
Yorashi and Sakurai. Okay, that's what it is. Both Japanese-sounding names. That's my bad. That's my bad. But either way, Zakurai now forced to go backwards and head back to base to heal on up, and a slight lead there by 2. I like the patience that he's shown. It forced the Master Yi to show mid lane, and now they have an idea on where to track him.
Forcing the flash out from the Jinx in the bottom. Nicely done from OCC. Continuing to apply the pressure. You talked about the lane matchup. Nice taunt also landing there in the mid. Oh, but this is just so difficult. There's so much harass able to apply here on the bottom. The Jinx at the stage of the game just cannot deal with it. The Sona, she's trying her best, but just cannot respond, especially pre-6. It's a real world of hurt.
Yeah, Sina just got that flashback and had to use it immediately because, again, had to use it very early on in this game and has had it on cooldown longer than he's had it in his off of cooldown here.
Train needs to be careful. He's actually going to get collapsed on top side. The brush camp from La 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 Lisa. Here comes Obi. Come on and blow me. And the flash is available for the Jax. But can he escape? Oh, he actually avoids the pull. Lead strikes the safety. And Train survives.
Oh, he ward jumps out. Oh, boy, that was risky.
Lisa tried to use the apprehend without using the flash. And then in this case, flash forward afterwards. You can't do it, guys. If you miss your engage skill, don't follow up. No engage skill necessary for Master Yi. Here he goes.
Abandoned looking for the kills here. Wishibu trying to retreat. The super mega death rocket secures first blood. And that is going to kill traded back for Sage Skux, but still will fall 2 for 2 though.
2 for 2. I mean, the mid TP'd in and was rewarded for it. Yeah, you lose your carry, but you're able to secure a lot there. Mastery the jungle, of course, paying dividends still through all this, but already 2 was ahead, and he is now propelled even further. I don't necessarily hate that trade for OCC.
Yeah, and most importantly, Stun Daddy living up to his name, able to get 2 people there with Crescendo. So he's like, shut up, guys. I know I picked Morgana last time. That was a snare. I'm able to stun here. So nice play to set up a couple of kills. And again, you want that Master Yi to get the gold. You have so much late game power here if you're Titan Gaming. You're only playing for late game, so OCC needs to get more out of the Evelynn. You can't have ganks like that in the top lane go awry.
Yeah, between the Jinx, between the Jax, between that Master Yi. Oh!
What a play by Evelynn there. Flashing the taunt and then knowing exactly the execution damage necessary. That's what needs to happen out of this OCC team that can't sit and wait.
Absolutely flawless. That was it. That was the Evelynn play we needed.
Spicy. That is what we were looking for.
I like how Digon calls for it. It's like they heard him through the ether, and they're like, okay, I can give you a gank right now.
It's the inverse of caster curse. It's the caster call.
Caster bless.
Caster bless.
There it is. Bless up.
Oh, no. There's no mana.
Oh, boy. And this is the dunk.
Running for his life. No mana for either top laner.
Yo, Counter-Strike's a real good ability, though. You're about to see it. You're about to see it. You ready for it?
La 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 Lisa's in big trouble here. The stacks. Oh. Train will have enough sustain. He'll survive.
Look, I played a lot of Jax, Digon. I know how this goes.
Caster bless.
There it is. Yo, like, you can't see it, but Digon's curling into a ball right now. He, like, can't even handle what's happening on the screen. As we were witnessing, I called it a pacifist early game, but both these teams have now tasted blood. It's 3 kills to 3. Dead even in terms of gold. We've got ourselves a game on our hands, boys. This is what we've been waiting for all night long. Both of these teams are neck and neck.
Yeah, again, Train doing a good job surviving, and when he decided to go back in, both of them had no mana. But it ended up working out for Titan Gaming's top laner.
Yeah, Q's not a lot of mana. It's just barely enough.
Someone's going to win based off of stats if you just sit and AFK auto attack. Usually it's the Jax.
Yeah. As was the case here. Interesting though for OCC because again, I feel like there's more of a timer on them at this point in the game. There's just so much late game scaling potential for Titan Gaming right now that if you let them go, talking 2-3 items, talking 20, 25 minutes into this game, things can get irredeemable at that point. Like, you can't, there's no way. OCC would have to have some miracle team fighting to deal with them at that stage in the game.
We'll have to see how things pan out. Good binding there from Wishy Boot. The trap doesn't get down soon enough there, but they're still able to force out that heal. We've seen on in the Super Mega Death Rocket. In return, the kill goes to the Jinx.
And it's tough. It's a nice little combo. Oh, nice combo there by Caitlyn. Not done yet. Trying to get that final auto attack off. You love the fact that Caitlyn was able to do the 90 caliber net, and in the process of going backwards, dropping the cupcake down on the trap and able to pick up a kill. It's such a difficult combo to do consistently as holy moly, this Evelyn is getting huge.
The disrespect.
I'm watching the Yi chase it. I'm like, are you sure though? But are you sure though? Yes, he was sure.
Uh-oh. So was...
We're seeing the attempted gank there in the middle. Not really gonna land it there. And we're seeing interesting play from OCC. They're definitely kind of rolling with the punches here a little bit. But I need to see more than rolling with the punches. I need to see establishing pace. And I think a Galio here in the mid is going to be one of the ones to do just that.
Yeah, 2 putting out a lot of pressure here. 1-0-2 scoreline, has his first item finished, and a minor CS lead in the mid lane. It's really that map effectiveness that has helped build a lead in that lane right now as OCC trying to up the pressure, up about 1,800 gold as Lisa trying to control the top lane as T-Train approaching his Trinity Force is looking to force some things. Xenon having a back-away flash away, but it won't get him away from Wishy Boot. He's going to get locked down, trying to get the kill back. Will, in fact, thanks to the minions, secure the kill onto Wishy Boot.
Winions, baby.
Winions. Misses the Super Mega Death Rocket. Don't even need it. As we do have the additional kill, tying it up 5-5 now. Titan Gaming. But his bottom turret is still getting chunked, and that's a lot of turret plating that had gone over up until this point. Losing it now with 14 minutes, but on the flank, we do see player 3 has entered the game.
Stun Daddy's down. No flash available for the Evelyn, so won't continue to chase the Jinx, but will steal away some camps. Meanwhile, Abandon on the Rift Herald here, but actually going to get collapsed on the taunt. Will keep him in place. The Winds of War and the dunk. Lisa grabs the kill.
Beautiful chain CC up the shield just ran, and all of that going on through the back of the Justice Punch, knocking him right into the wall with the dunk from the Darius. The execution is there, which means that now Shelly going to be going the way of OCCs. They want more, chasing it down, executing it. Evelyn all day. Ouch.
Yeah, T-Train get infected there with the I think I can syndrome. Hate to see it. And by getting caught up there, easy pickup with the resets from Darius. Good rotation out of the mid lane to support OCC. Starting to pull to a big lead here. Almost 4,000 gold, only 15 minutes in.
OCC looking great right now. Titan Gaming really just lining up one by one right there. Not able to temper the aggression and just take the loss. Means they lose 3 in a row, and OCC just builds on that lead. A lead that was, we mentioned a moment ago, was about 1,800 gold, and now it's just ballooned about 4,000 ahead. 2 is going to go down. Beautiful snipe on the Rocket helps secure the kill, but you know, Titan Gaming will take the consolation prize, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, blindsiding them there on the side of OCC. They did not see that coming. Able to get the back? Yes. All right. And Titan Gaming, I love the fact that, though, that, you know, they're taking some fights, not having always the most success, but it's not letting them deter them from still making the right decisions. They're not, like, curling up in a ball. They realize, look, yeah, we're going to play for late game, but that doesn't mean we need to play passive right now. We just need to play smart.
Right. And I think that pick helps them get a little bit more map pressure back on, but they're so far down in objectives right now. Lisa getting caught again. T-Train able to pop the old Grandmaster's Might to not take too much damage. They'll take top lane, and there isn't a lot of response here by OCC, but it's all set up by a lazy recall, 2 getting caught out, and Titan Gaming capitalizing on top of it.
So you don't know this, but Degon's least favorite thing in the entirety of the League of Legends, lazy recalls.
Lazy recalls lose games. Make a t-shirt.
Make a
Copyright.
I would buy that T-shirt.
Lazy recalls lose games. It's
There you
just-
go.
You walk back an extra 2-3 seconds, you're safe. Instead, you recall right in the middle of the open where someone can do something to you and you die. And you lose all the pressure, the gold that you had, the advantage, the fact that you shoved the wave probably, like it all goes away just because you didn't walk back a little bit. So lazy recalls lose games. Don't forget, boys and girls.
My favorite lazy recall is when people back right next to a brush. Not inside of it.
Next to
don't,
it.
Don't step in it
That
to
is-
give you that more stealth. I'm just going to back right next to it. And honestly, you just make it so if you don't have a ward in there, you're actually denying yourself more vision. Always a good time.
Always a
I'm just trying to trigger Degon, to be honest.
That was good. I played solo queue today, so it's
Oh, it's fresh.
too late. Yeah.
Oh no,
It's
I'm
too
sorry.
late. I came tilted. That's why I can notice tilt when it's happening.
Yeah. I arrived in an uneven state.
Yeah.
Pre-tilt.
I was born in the tilt, molded by it. I didn't know that until I was almost a man.
Okay. Good play. Yeah. That was the charm. That was the execute. But now the counter collapse. And oh my. T-Train has left the station. Ooh, okay.
He's good.
He's good. We are seeing just so much action every single corner of the map. But Titan Gaming, not out of this by any stretch here. They are holding their own despite the fact that they do not have the early game draft. And look, I would love to take a look at where the gold is being allocated right now between all these players. That would really, I think, tell a lot more of this story here.
Yeah, I would say in the top lane though, Lisa.
La
I didn't
la
know.
la
I didn't
la
know
la
it was.
Lisa.
I didn't know it was glute day. Because that was a big clench there on the top side.
Yes.
There's your gold chart there, Paul. Take it away.
Thank you. Oh,
And it's gone.
well,
Not take it away as in don't have it up.
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
There
there
we
we
go.
are.
But more like,
Thank
Paul,
you.
can break it down.
Excellent. Yes, the big thing I really want to look at was the overall goal between the ADCs was the big one. The top lane was the other one, and so far leading on both fronts by OCC. This is 100% a good thing if you are an OCC fan. I'm assuming that's Orange County somethings.
Could
Co-
be Orange County
coconuts?
something. Could be Orange Coast College.
Ah, is that a thing?
Possibly. Yeah, Orange Coast College.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
There you go.
Possibly. We'll,
Down with OCC.
maybe we'll get an answer.
Yeah.
You know me.
There you
job.
go.
There
There
it
you
is.
Do you know? No?
That's all right.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's fine.
That was a,
Don't worry about it.
you're such a good boy. Paul's such a good boy.
Look, I'm Canadian. I don't know U.S. schools, all right? All I know is that combo is dirty, all right? He's giving him the Justice Punch plus Ultra, and this guy's still walking away alive. That's not okay. TU, more like see you later, Ari. I didn't put you on the gray screen.
T-Train going to run. He's going to hit the counter strike and still going to eat some auto attacks there, but Soundin arrives to discourage any further aggression as OCC will steal away the red buff here.
And to be fair to Wishy Boot, he's landed a decent amount of bindings. That's why I think I was surprised that one missed. That one, okay, it's a Master Yi that moves really fast, but that one was pretty free against the Jax. Wishy Boot has done a solid job so far setting up plays, and Evelyn is big. Big Evelyn.
Do not go quietly into that good night, Sona. Jeez.
Just press R. Just press R.
Oh, just
Oh,
press
no.
R. Oh, boy. Burning the flashes already, and everything is going on down. Talked about Titan Gaming. I said 20 to 25 minutes, 2-item power spikes. These are the phrases that we're using. Hard to do that when you don't have a base.
Yeah, hard to do that without vision as well. You got to see Lisa after a very tough early landing phase give it right on back, that time to Zakurai, and able to clear out that pink ward that had been around the blue buff for such a long time.
Meanwhile, OCC trying to siege in the mid lane. You've got the Caitlyn Morgana, so you're certainly powerful on that front, but the wave clear from Titan Gaming, enough to keep that tower alive for the moment. Meanwhile, 2 down to the bottom lane, just trying to apply some side lane pressure as the Caitlyn continues to whittle down this tower. We'll take it down, may cost her life. Here comes the ultimate, the hero's entrance too. Maybe with the save, but a beautiful ultimate, and Stun Daddy will take down Wishy Boot. Here comes Abandon. They're trying to pop off here. Titan Gaming wants back in this game. Good flash from the Evelyn. Is it enough? Abandon will heal and actually back away, so the Evelyn survives.
Yeah, very much dislike the way that OCC, after such good coordination of the waves, the way that everything was spread, they had an umbrella of wave pressure shoving into tier 2s up to tier 3s, but they didn't coordinate their back there. They left their most fed player 230 CS, 3 kills, almost like 3,000 gold on top of the Jinx, all alone. You've got to shepherd everybody back safely. Instead, it was every man for themselves, and OCC get caught out and give Titan Gaming a window back into this game.
And I think a lot of it came down to just that beautiful crescendo from Stun, Daddy living up to the name, the counter initiation off the back of the hero's entrance, absolutely massive. It was that moment of reprieve that they needed, hitting that 2-man stun, able to turn it back around. And now we're looking at a situation with the Dragon is up for grabs, and OCC just going to continue to extend their lead. This will be 3 Dragons for them, which is interesting because Titan Gaming just won that fight, but you wouldn't know it looking at map control.
Yeah, they had to spend so much time clearing out their own jungle, rewarding the bottom side of the map, and didn't properly. Yeah, I don't even think they did anything wrong. I think that's just what they needed to do. That's what that team fight led to.
I mean, just props to OCC to appreciate the fact that, look, this is exactly what Titan. They've been in Titan Gaming's position before. They know what the correct response is, but they know what the counterplay is. I need to take back that Dragon, then I need to further establish this control, and now with 2 Infernos on their plate, oh, give me that damage.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Titan Gaming is just trying to carve out some portion of the map that they can control outside of their base, right? And that's the step they have to take before they can think of those neutral objectives. They need to get the wards down, clear things out, have some safety in their own jungle, which when the Evelyn's nearby, you don't. Goodbye.
Blink and you miss her.
Titan Gaming, after that big team fight win, spent so much time on the bottom side of the map getting vision. They didn't spend any time on the top side of the map getting vision. And where do they go? To the top side of the map where there's no vision, and they get caught. It's good ideas, but it wasn't a fully thought out idea there, right? We need to get vision, but what kind of vision do we get? Are we going to contest the Dragon? If not, then it needs to be on the top side of the map. You've got an Evelyn walking around. You've got a Darius waiting in a bush as well. Galio showed on the bottom side of the map, but also can be just devastating if you walk right into it. And Titan Gaming now find themselves on the back foot yet again.
And I would say more than back foot. Look at the CS discrepancy between Caitlyn and Jinx right now. It is not small. And yes, you do have the IE, you do have the Hurricane, but it's still a situation where Jinx is not doing what she needs to be doing, and you need to turtle if you're Titan Gaming. I mean, you need a full turtle. I need to grow 100 years old tortoise. I need to be real slow. I need to just try and survive. Oh, that's hard to do when they're just wrecking your face like this. Crescendo's not going to be enough. The Evelyn's going in doing massive amounts of damage, and that is going to be the double kill going to the way of OCC.
Wow. Zachary, you talk about trying to slow things down and become a tortoise. That's the exact opposite. She put her bunny ears on. I know she's a fox, but going full hair speed there, flashing in for the charm and gets punished.
Yeah, we're seeing the additional mass chain CC go gold a little bit longer, but OCC still here. The pressure putting on, trying to dive underneath these turrets, trying to follow up there. Is the Darius going on through, trying to hook him on back, but still OCC is battered, bruised, but not broken, though I may have spoke too soon. But Darius is going on through, trying to get him down the execution there in the back, trying to dive into the turbo. Can they get it done? Just a punch, trying to get in there off the back. The grand entrance, can they secure the kill onto the Caitlyn in the back? But no, the Nexus is exposed. Got to get a few more autos, but no, Titan Gaming holds on just a little bit longer. A couple more autos will end this game.
Shoot the Nexus, please.
There it is.
Okay.
Wow, my timing on that finale was not optimal. Just click the core, guys.
I can tell you from experience, in Late Night League, it never lines up.
Never.
It never lines up. I could promise you that. Titan Gaming defeated their OCC, cleaning things up. Not the most surgical of games. Titan Gaming, we have to mention that big fight in the mid lane that buoyed them for a moment. They got a couple minutes of a reprieve and they could breathe, but then you mentioned the mistakes, not respecting that there's an Evelyn that's going to delete 4 out of 5 of your members, 8 if not 5, and not respecting that, they get punished for it. Continuing to be too over-aggressive with that flash, and they get punished.
Yeah, again, it's just small mistakes here and there. So we're seeing consistent mistakes that we're seeing. We're seeing teams overstay. We're seeing not proper
Baron setup. Like, you want to make sure that you have vision on the opposite side of the map. You've cleared the Baron pit vision, so you're depleting them of vision, so you know that they're going to come at you. And you also want to sync up your waves and have wave shoving. And then in this case, it's where do we put vision? What is good vision? I think that's a clear example there of good vision. It was just in the wrong spot. You set up vision on the bottom side of the map. You use all your control wards on the bottom side of the map. And then it takes so long that they get dragon for free. So now you have vision of a place that you're never going to be for the next 5 to 6 minutes. Go spend the vision back up top and say, hey, we're going to concede this because we can't take everything. Or we did put all this vision down on the bottom side of the map. We need to force into this fight because we know we have vision here, right? We're not walking into a death trap. And so just small little details there that Titan Gaming can look back. They've got themselves some clips to review and try to clean that one up. But again, skill discrepancy on the bottom side at the 80 carry roll. Simon had a great KDA, but he was down massive amounts in terms of CS.
Yeah, I think I just have to echo the point there. You spend your 40-second death timers, or your opponent's death timers, warding an objective that you instantly lose. And prioritizing that, you know, the additional Infernal obviously is big, but Baron is up. Baron is your priority at that stage in the game, and you spend no time building vision on that side, getting no aggressive forward positioning, allowing Evelyn to just sit in a bush and one-shot you. And I think that's, again, great learning lessons, a lot of great individual moments there for Titan Gaming, a few little things to clean up, and I think this roster could really be scary coming forward in the next few weeks. Of course, it's only week number 1.
Yeah, it's early. There's times to mesh and work with these rosters, right? We don't necessarily have the insight on how much of these teams have been playing together. They've just been put, you know, in a match together. So we're not quite sure, but they have the opportunities to grow here, and I look forward to seeing some of these teams continue to mesh and see where they can go, right? And there'll be further opportunities. Obviously, congrats to OCC for the win. They move on tonight, and they'll get to continue to play, and hopefully we see more Titan Gaming throughout the season.
Titan Gaming, I'm assuming, is that Cal State Fullerton? They are Titans?
It could be Cal State Fullerton are the Titans, so we would
Yeah.
have to check on that. But
I think of the Tritons, which is up in NorCal as well. One of those, yeah.
Titans or somebody else? Yeah?
Tritons Esports, yeah. I believe that's San Francisco area. Some description.
I cannot remember. Off the top.
I'm
I wish
trying
I
to
could
remember.
support you.
I
but
wish I knew. I'm trying to remember back from like
You're
the
trying.
old. I did Heroes Collegiate stuff. So
Yeah.
like, and then we have the league. Well, we're on the East Coast, so that's a whole other thing. And anyway, great game regardless. Congrats to OCC.
Going out of your comfort zone. I appreciate it, man. Giving it a shot.
Hey, trying.
But that is going to do it for us tonight, folks. We hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. Degon and Viram, thank you so much for coming through, guys. Hope you guys had a blast. It was a pleasure to have you guys here.
Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah, no, this is great. Getting back in the saddle, casting some league again. We've been
Yeah.
doing other stuff, but it's great to be here hanging out. And to all the players who showed up, again, this is week number 1. To everyone who watched and was like, man, I want to get involved. You have 7 more weeks to do so. Points are, of course, cumulative every single time, so more opportunities to get involved and go out, meet some people, and play. I love the fact that if you're a solo player, you can get matched up with a squad, which is fantastic. Great opportunity to meet people who are interested in leagues. So, yeah, super cool.
Yeah, and for more league content, you can follow me at Degon. Nice and simple on Twitter, and at Degon Says for Instagram. How about yourself, Paul?
At Inverum Gaming on Twitter is the place to find me. I only tweet about esports.
Yeah, you guys can check me out at Caster Yeso. Yeso is Y4SO. I tweet about esports and hockey and anime a lot. But I got, you know, smorgasbord of content. But that's going to do it for us tonight, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope we see you again next week. And make sure to check us out the rest of the week. We will have streams on Thursday and Friday for Super Smash Thursdays and Fortnite Frenzy. But that's going to do it for us, folks. Have a great night. We'll see y'all again next time.